Good evening. We are live. NFL season never ceases. The NFL season goes on and on and on, and I love it. I think sometimes I like the off season as much, if not more, as I like the season. Not more because I miss games. But we've got tons of stuff to talk about. As I see some people coming in, if you're watching on the live version, thank you so much for being here. If you're watching on Team Replay, hashtag Team Replay in the comments. I see people popping in. Say hi in chat if you want. We've got a bunch of topics to get to. Tonight, we're going to talk about A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, all making decisions or on the move. Calvin Ridley suspended for the whole year for being a bad boy. My Cowboys in the news. Dak Prescott in the news. Amari Cooper, maybe that is part of the news. Dak Prescott in the news. Zeke might be in the news. Then we've got Mike Williams signing where I didn't think he was going to sign, staying in LA with the stud quarterback. We got Bobby Wagner getting cut. Are you kidding me? We got Jerry Jones making a baby with the young lady. Let's say hi to chat. Nick H in the house, first time here. I appreciate you being here, buddy. Hope you subscribe to the channel, like and share and all those things, but mostly just stick around and have a good time, talk some football with us. Gene Fitzmagic, I didn't send you a link because you said you'd be busy. If you want one, let me know. Rod, yes, Nick H is going to get to it. Let's just get to it. I don't know deep down if I really thought he was going to stay. I mean, I think if you made me put my bet down, I would have said retirement. He just seemed a little pissed. But he loves playing. He says he loves playing with the guys. I'm a Chargers fan and a Cowboys fan. Grew up in San Diego. I know they're in LA now. So I grew up being a Chargers fan. Now I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I root for the Cowboys and the Chargers, all right? So anybody who's in the AFC West, it's not the Chargers, I'm not rooting for. And I thought that if he went to Denver, well, if you're a follower of this channel, you might know that on Thursday nights, not NFL watch party, Inside the Huddle, me and a couple other lunatics over on Pete McDevitt's channel, we go live every Thursday night. During the season, he does the games. During the offseason, we talk offseason stuff. And I made a prediction last week on the show. You live in Palm Springs, Nick? I'm from that area. On the show last Thursday night, I said if A-Rod goes to Denver, the Kansas City Chiefs will come in last place in the AFC West next year. I'm a Chargers fan. I love their roster. I hate the Raiders, but they looked pretty dang good. The Broncos had a good roster. They just need a quarterback, and I just want the Chiefs to fail. So this ain't A-Rod, but it's pretty freaking close. Russell Wilson is no joke. I read an article about 2 hours ago. This might be the biggest trade since, 1989, the Herschel Walker trade. The Cowboys were 1-15. They traded Herschel Walker to the Vikings for a couple Super Bowl rings. This trade is massive. I just looked at it a little bit. I was doing a little work. I think Seattle wins the trade. At first cursory look over it, I think Seattle wins the trade. What do you think? We'll talk about it here in a minute. Nico the Greco in the house. What's going on, buddy? I did that stickers. Did you like it? Yeah, he's talking about, I dropped a video today, mostly of what I did yesterday. Air Force One was flying over my house, but I didn't get to stay home, and I had an interesting interaction, and it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoy. If you watched it, I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't know what we're talking about, just check out my channel. It's just a vlog. It's about 3 minutes, me being silly. Joe Biden was town, and I mostly wanted to see the plane. Sorry. Nick says, I'm Cowboys fan, brother, but live in Palm Springs, Cali. I know Palm Springs, Cali well. I used to have a house I lived in Banning. I lived in Banning, California for a little bit of my life. I ran the Boys and Girls Club up there. Banning, kind of a pit. Sorry. Palm Springs, kind of awesome. Hotter than, so you guys have heat different than the Texas heat. But anyway, Nick, I'm glad you're here regardless. Like playing or the money? Well, I mean, if you're talking about A-Rod, he wasn't going to get paid. He could have got paid staying home, actually. Yes, Dope Dad, Coke out this way lunch on next time you out this way. Dude, I would love that, Nick. My wife still lives a little bit farther west than Palm Springs, but we head out there now and then. You never know. I might surprise you. Pearl's in the house. Hey, Jeff, let's talk about Seattle. Sad to see Wilson go. Seattle needs a complete makeover. So let's take a look at this trade, guys. This is massive. Russell Wilson to Denver for a whole big pile of studliness. Let's see. Let's see. How can I find it? Oh, let's just type it in this way. Russell Wilson trade. Let's just pull it up this way. Shall we? This is crazy. It's massive. It's just massive. Okay, so does this have all the stuff? If you're come on. It's from ESPN here. I'll share it with you. Not that you guys will be reading it, but let's share it, right? Shall we? Hey, Will, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're having a great day. I've heard there are a decent number of Cowboys fans in California, due in part to them doing training camp in Oxnard. It's true. There's a ton of Cowboys fans out there. It's amazing. So did Rodgers actually sign, or are those rumors? And I think it's a done deal. A buddy of mine, I didn't read anything on it to confirm or anything, but a buddy of mine sent me numbers today while I was at the office. What a trade that is with Russell Wilson. So much. Yeah, it's nuts. Let me pull it up, and it looks like we've got a guest in the house here. Let's bring him on, shall we? Hold on, I'll leave that right there. Unfortunately, it's another Packers fan. So we're going to talk about Russ Wilson, but my man Ken, Green Bay Packer fan. How you doing, buddy?
What do you mean, unfortunately?
Well, I'm surrounded by you guys. Some of my best friends are Packers fans, and I feel a need to have a Cowboys fan or a Chargers fan in my life, but I don't have very many. Anyway, Ken, how are you tonight?
I just finished my taxes, so I'm not sure. I've got a headache, but I'm also relieved because I don't owe a bunch of money, so I guess I'm doing okay.
Good for you. Keep it in the pocket, not in the right. Give it to the government. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're done with your taxes. If you don't know, this is Ken, the content coach. He's a good friend of mine. He was on my show Sunday night. The show was weird Sunday night. We're kind of interviewing you, and then we brought in Pete, and then we talked about all this other stuff. I had fun, but we definitely went off the rails. So if you weren't here for that, check that out. Ken, the content coach, he helps you learn how to grow on YouTube. Ken is a Green Bay Packers fan. Where were you when you heard the news A-Rod stays in Green Bay?
I was sitting over here working, and obviously from our conversation Sunday, that went different than I expected it was going to. So,
well, where were you? You were on the I think he's leaving train, yes, for people in the chat?
Yep, I thought for sure that he was going to be gone, yeah.
Again, it's hard for me to remember where my brain was, but I feel like what I was saying was I think he's going to retire. He felt you're good man. You're going to know more than me. I'm a guy who just loves football and really doesn't like him because he's better than my quarterback, no matter who my quarterback is. And I'm a Justin Herbert guy and a Dak Prescott guy. So I'm not crying on either one of my teams, but he's definitely better. I really thought he was a little salty. I thought he was a little grumpy. I thought it sounded to me like he was going to hang him up. Did you think he was going to go to another team? Did you think he was going to hang him up or what?
Well, it's been a rough couple of years for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, the front office, right? Not the players and fans, but Aaron Rodgers in the front office. One thing I don't like about that relationship is that they've never really given him the freedom to help choose who's going to play around him. They've never put players around him to really.
That's his argument too, right?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to take any blame off of him. I mean, we should honestly have more than one Super Bowl ring with Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
But his frustration with the team has always been that they don't put players around him. So,
would you agree? As a Packers fan, would you agree with that assessment?
Absolutely. I feel like they've wasted his career. I do agree with that.
It's hard because, I mean, I want to pick somebody else. Every year I want to pick somebody else in that division, and every year I'm wrong. They are as a fixture in the playoffs as any team in my lifetime, probably. But I agree, they haven't got over the hump enough. I don't know. It's kind of a high bar.
Think about the quarterback history of the Packers, right? For almost my entire lifetime, if you take away the 70s and 80s, for the most part, besides that, though, we've always had great Hall of Fame quarterback play. And so I'm glad he's coming back because, I mean, he doesn't have much time left anyway. A couple of years. I mean, it was a 4-year contract, but who knows if he'll finish those 4 years. You know how that goes.
I was shocked at how long it was.
Yeah, I was too. I was surprised at the number of years.
So not to change the subject too quickly, but we've had some other quarterback news. The Carson Wentz news we'll get to in a minute. Russell Wilson to Denver. What are your thoughts there?
I'm more surprised about that than I am about Rodgers staying.
I thought Rodgers might go to Denver, and I mean, it is what it is. Russell Wilson in Denver could be trouble. But do you see what they gave up? It's a ton.
They gave up the farm.
Broncos get Russ and a 4th round pick. Seahawks get Drew Lock, who I don't hate. I don't think he's going to be a top tier quarterback, but I don't hate. Defensive lineman Shelby Harris, tight end Noah Fant, 2 first-round picks, a 2nd round pick, actually 2 2nd round picks, 2022 and 2023, and a 5th. That is a haul. I think it could come to be looked at like we look at the Herschel Walker, Minnesota Viking, Cowboys trade. What do you think?
Think it'll go down as the worst trade in history
For
Denver.
I think so too. I think Denver's got a window now. But it's probably, I mean, that's a lot of players. That is a lot of players. That's a lot of high draft picks. I think Seattle was brilliant in doing this. I mean, it's got to hurt to give up your guy, but frankly, if you've got your franchise quarterback and you get to trade him away for a huge haul past the middle of his career, that's a huge win. That is a huge win in my opinion. So I think you're right.
It's a lot to give up for. I mean, he's sort of like Aaron Rodgers. He's a veteran quarterback in the last, couple of years of his career. So,
yeah, I'm trying to hit Nick here. Here you go. I don't know. Russell Wilson isn't Peyton Manning. This is their first quarterback since Peyton Manning that you think might go to the Pro Bowl. So there's something there. Nick says, always good to see you, Ken. Love it. How old is Russell Wilson now? I don't know, but I wouldn't call him old yet. I mean, Brady just retired at 75 years old. I mean, he's like the crypt keeper, but
did he officially retire, or are they still talking about he may come back?
You talking about Brady?
Yeah.
I saw a thing. What if he came to San Francisco? Would they be the favorites?
Well, what I read was that if he did unretire, Bruce Arians and the front office would not release him from Tampa Bay.
That's exactly right. I mean, why he said it wouldn't be a good business move. Right. Why would you do that? Yeah, everybody's saying he's 33, going to turn 34.
Oh, he's younger than I thought he was. Okay.
But still, how many quarterbacks are elite at 35 and up? There's a handful ever. So I would say that's old for a quarterback. It's just not old for a human being.
Right.
So anyway, I'm going to say it again. You get Wilson in a 4th, but then you get Drew Lock, who logically will be their starter unless, of course, they draft one, although this is not a big quarterback heavy draft, but you never know. Right. Defensive lineman in Harris, a very good tight end in Font, and then 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th. That's a huge haul.
Yeah, if Russell Wilson does not win a Super Bowl with the Broncos, that's a loss.
Nick H says Brady will be back. I heard rumors. I don't think so.
I don't.
Why, if he wanted another one, why wouldn't he have just stayed? They had a good spot. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, her name is Giselle. He loves his kids. He's going to make a ton of money doing Gillette commercials or whatever he's doing.
I picture Brady. I think Brady's kind of in that spot right now where the dude has been playing football since forever, right? Mm-hmm. And he just retired, and this is his first off season with not a season to look forward to. And I think he's probably in this crisis mode where he's missing it, but I don't think that he's going to come back.
It's not like he retired at 35. This is a guy. He's got plenty to do elsewise. He's an entrepreneur. He'll be fine. Do you hear about his buddy Gronk? A lot of talk about him going to Buffalo, which is where he's from. He's already a legend in Buffalo. I love it. Josh Allen. They'd play New England twice. Excuse me. I think it would be great. And again, it's his hometown. Hey, Brandy and Dave. Dave says Brady will be back. Dave, I agree with you a lot, but I'm assuming this is Dave, not Brandy. No, he's just not. He's not. You guys know Brandy and Dave. Make sure you check them out. Some of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah, what's up?
No, Brady's not coming back. But anyway, Gronk, what do you think about him going to Buffalo? I think it would be awesome.
I like Buffalo. I like Josh Allen. I was really pulling for them in the playoffs.
I was too.
I was hoping they were going to win that game, and that was a shootout game that they lost.
He had two playoff games in a row that he was just beyond insane. Pass hold repair in the house. What's going on, guys? I didn't even see you in there. Oh, where'd they go? Pat's moving. Pass hold repair. Let's see what they said here. I'd be happy as a Packers fan to have him back. It's a lot of dollar bills for a guy who doesn't win in the playoffs. That's what Ken was saying. I think he would have been better served to be a Titan. Legacy over money. He chose money. I don't know. The Titans want to get rid of Tannehill. I mean, they're pretty happy with that. But Anyway, so let's move on to Wentz. Actually, what do you think about Wentz? I'm a little confused on the Colts. Didn't they give up a first and a third? I didn't look at it, so I might have that wrong. I think they gave up a first and a third to get him, and now this year they only get a third back for him. That seems like a good way to ruin your franchise. But what do you think about him going to Washington, not Redskins, whatever they're called now?
The Commanders. Yeah. I think that, when it comes to Carson Wentz, I think they were just kind of cutting their losses. Carson Wentz, he's never been a great pro quarterback, and I don't know that he's going to be. So I think that they cut their losses with him, and
he was the likely MVP the year he got hurt. And then he leaves the team, and they don't miss a beat at all. Which I think we all just went, maybe he wasn't as good as we thought. And then there was, I had a friend say it today. A lot of times a quarterback will go away, and then there's all these rumors about him, not being good in the locker room. I'm not saying he's Ryan Leaf, but I'm not saying he was loved in those locker rooms. I mean, it seems that he wasn't Mr. Popular. That's rough to say. You never know. I think there's bad rumors and good rumors about everybody. But I, as an Eagles fan, I, as a Chargers fan and a Cowboys fan, was happy to have Wentz in Philly. As a Washington hater, and they've got a really good defense that I think is going to be even better next year because they were a little down last year. I'm glad they got Wentz. I just don't see him being a winner. I don't. I feel guilty saying that, but
no, I think he's probably the Jay Cutler of this era.
See, I love Ryan Fitzpatrick, and so I'm a Cowboys fan, right? I picked last year the Redskins to win the NFC East, and I meant it. I thought Fitz was underrated. I still think he's underrated. And then he got hurt, and he's out, and the season was a mess for Washington. It made me happy because I don't like them. Wentz going there, I'll take it. Kelly from the Mickey Bunch is here. I need to mention her Sunday night, right, Kelly? Sunday night, I'll be on her channel, the road trip across the USA. We're talking about what's in Texas, what to do in Texas. Me and my wife live here, obviously, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Go check out Kelly's channel. We'll be there this weekend. Nico says, haha, Ryan Leap. Man, he had a meltdown. I actually thought he got screwed. I mean, he was obviously a mental midget at the time. I actually like him now. I was watching an interview. I guess he's doing the Rich Eisen show a lot now. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's what it is. I think he's grown a lot. I'm actually a fan of the guy now. But boy, did he screw up San Diego for a bunch of years.
And I'm with Pearl Manhattan. I think she was talking about, they were okay with him leaving or whatever. I think is what she said. I think that the Seahawks just saw this as their opportunity to go ahead and find their next quarterback, And
they flipped Bobby Wagner away, so it is starting overtime in Seattle, which I think the NFC West is stacked. I don't like the Cardinals as much as everybody does, but boy, they had a good first half of the year. But come on, you got the Rams, you got the Niners. Either of those teams could have been in the Super Bowl this year. One was, so it's hard to imagine Seattle staying pat and surviving it. But those 2 first-round picks, those 2 second-round picks, that's a lot. I mean,
the only thing that I can think about when we talk about the Cardinals, I'm not a Cardinals fan. I don't dislike the Cardinals either, right? No reason to, but I think when I think about the Cardinals, I think about the fact that Larry Fitzgerald never got a Super Bowl. And I wish he would have got a Super Bowl. I like Larry Fitzgerald. He's
I do too.
Great player, great guy.
All-time favorite Cardinal for me be Pat Tillman, mostly because of his, the other stuff he did in life. Right. Actually, that's probably the jersey I want most is a Tillman jersey, just because, go America. But yeah, that guy's a class act and a super, super, superstar. Pearl says Bobby Wagner was the last member of the Legion of Boom. That Legion of Boom was amazing. What did they have? 4 Pro Bowl DBs at one time, the 2 safeties in the 2 corners. And I think I have that right. Unbelievable. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the draft because they've got some holes to fill. Anyway, so what's the biggest news in your opinion? I guess I could ask you. I mean, it is in the poll there. Is it Wentz? Probably not. Is it Wilson to Denver? Is it A-Rod staying in Green Bay? I bet I know what Ken's answer is, but I'm going to ask you. What do you think for the NFL is the biggest news out of those 3? Or maybe you think it's another one of the news items that we've been talking about.
No, so as a Packers fan, I know you expect me to say it's Aaron Rodgers staying there. I'm definitely shocked that he stayed in Green Bay, especially considering on Green Bay's angle, given that much money that many years. But I'm definitely more surprised about Russell Wilson.
Let me ask you this way, and you're perfect to answer this because again, you're in the fandom, as they say. If they let him go, they would have been crucified in their. First of all, it would have hurt the team because they're not. It's not like they're going to get a stud back, right? So they don't have anybody. I mean, I guess they like the it was an early draft pick. They've been holding on to him for a while. I can't think of his name right now. Jordan Love. I guess
Jordan Love.
they have some hope for Jordan Love, but it would have been a big downgrade. And the fan, how do you not sign your greatest quarterback ever? And you've had two of the greatest quarterbacks ever. And you've got Bart Starr, you've got Brett Favre, and now he's the best of them all. And you just let him go at the end. It seems to me that it would have been a PR disaster. Does that play into it? Do you think at all?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit. Aaron Rodgers is in that point in his career where what do you do? Do you leave Green Bay and maybe take a chance? I mean, he would have had to have gone to a team that was Super Bowl ready because as a veteran quarterback with maybe 3 years left, even though it's a 4-year contract, I still think 2 or 3 years tops. With that many years left, does he really want to go somewhere else and try to learn a new team, a new system, build chemistry with new players? I think that him staying in Green Bay makes sense for Aaron Rodgers more than it does the Packers, in my opinion.
Really? Interesting.
Yep.
I'd have to think about that one, but my instinct says it was a must do for the Packers. I think that the Packers had to move mountains to make it happen.
I don't disagree. I think the Packers win this also PR wise. But what team was Aaron Rodgers going to go to that was Super Bowl ready? San Francisco would have been an option.
Which is where he wanted to go originally.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I know that so I haven't followed 49ers sports. I mean, I made a joke. I was talking to a couple guys the other day. I said, the reason he's staying in Green Bay is because he's determined to beat the 49ers in the playoffs before he retires.
You might be right. Jimmy G had, I think it was today, I read it today, had surgery on his throwing shoulder today. So I don't know what they're doing out there, but they've got Jimmy G. They've got Trey Lance. The rumors are that, no rumors. There's surgery on Jimmy G's shoulder, and Trey Lance doesn't look ready in the video that's been put out in the public. So, but I think that Lance kid looks like he could be unbelievable. He could be a Steve Young. Who else is Michael Vick kind of guy? I mean, he's dynamic, but very, very raw. And he grew up a Niners fan. Well, and he was at Cal, right? Cal Berkeley. So, I mean, right down the road. I think that would have been interesting. It's interesting that, they're such a good roster. Why would you not want to quarterback them? But they've got two on their roster. I don't know. It's a very interesting situation.
49ers would have been a good option for them. They're a Super Bowl ready team. They just need a little bit more, honestly, quarterback play. I think a lot of 49ers fans are ready for Trey Lance to come in and play. But I really think that, so we go back to when Aaron Rodgers was drafted, right, in 2005. When he was drafted,
sitting in there, that room all by his lonesome.
And he made that statement. They said, whoever it was, I forget what sportscaster asked him, but you've seen this 1,000 times.
Yep.
What do you think about the what was the question? Anyway, Aaron Rodgers says, not as bad as the 49ers are going to feel for not drafting me. And what's happened? They've been beating him his entire career. So
he clearly had a chip on his shoulder about every single team that passed him up. And I guess that's a story that happens a lot, but this guy was considered to be a high first-round pick. And what did he go in the mid-20s, I believe? Tannehill. I like Tannehill a lot. I know he didn't end the season well, but
yeah, if you're talking about Rodgers, he was picked, was it 26, 27 that year? That's something like that.
To sit in that room with the camera on you that whole time, burning, and come on, everybody has to respect his fire, right? His fire. I don't know. If he was on my team, I would love him. There's no doubt about that.
He has to beat the 49ers in the playoffs, though, to make that quote matter. He really does.
And isn't it? It's kind of shocking, as great of a career as he's had, that's just not worked out for him.
No, we beat the 49ers in the regular season, but not the playoffs. Yeah. And I agree with pass holder pair about the Titans. I think Titans would have been another great option.
Yeah, again, I don't think they want to get rid of Tannehill. I don't know Tannehill's contract situation, but I think Tannehill's very underrated. I think he's an exceptional quarterback. Yeah. This is an interesting one for me. I really have to kind of massage my brain to figure out where I stand on this. Calvin Ridley. So the NFL, just like Major League Baseball and other sports, has to stay away from anyone who's an athlete, who's a player, who's a current player betting on games. There can't be any hint of that. It could ruin a sport. I definitely agree with that and believe that. Calvin Ridley gets hurt. Calvin Ridley, excuse me. Calvin Ridley is off the roster for some mental health issues. His words, not mine. He's getting his brain in order, and he bets on football.
I have not heard this story.
Really? Calvin Ridley is suspended for the entire freaking season for betting in season on football games. When he admitted to it, they suspended him, and he was shocked. He put it out on, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, or maybe it was today, on Instagram, and he said, I only bet, and I don't remember what he said, I think $1,500, I wouldn't swear to that. You know, didn't mean anything to me, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. How in this day and age can you not have people around Calvin Ridley or any other young kid in the NFL telling them what you can and what you can't do? Like, I get it through high school. I get it even in college where everybody just tells you yes all the time. And Calvin Ridley's a beast, but no one said you can't do this, Calvin. No, he didn't know, or did he just think he was going to get away with it? I think it's shocking. Anyway, yeah, he bet in season, and he'll be taking the year off.
So the NFL has a program for, and I don't recall how many years he's been in the league, but I know the NFL has a program for rookies. They make rookies go through some sort of a financial management type class. Yes. Because, you know, a lot of these kids are coming out of college. They didn't have much money growing up, and now they have $1 million contracts. They have no idea what to do with that money. So I know they put them through some
and they talk about who they can hang out with and what kind of people are going to try to get in their pockets, frankly. And
yeah, I would have to imagine gambling would be part of that class, but maybe
how could it not be, right? Hey, Annie, how are you? I don't know. Yeah, right, Nico. Don't even get me going. I want to feel bad for the kid, right? Again, he was taking some time off for some mental health. We don't know what was going on with him. I don't know the kid. I don't know if he's a Rhodes Scholar or an absolute idiot. I have no idea. But this has got to be, to me, so I'm a former football coach. I've run boys and girls clubs. I believe in helping young people and giving them, I don't want to have them live in a bubble, but we've got to give them some kind of care. I don't know, handling sounds negative, but how does a team invest? It's like Ryan Leaf. Today, Ryan Leaf wouldn't be the bust that he was then. Maybe he would have been it physically, but the mental part of it was where he screwed up. They didn't have enough support to keep him on the straight and narrow. How did no one on the Falcons get to Calvin Ridley and say, you know, guidance, exactly, well, they lost a whole season of this guy because he bet on football. It's just asinine to me. Asinine.
Even if there's not those conversations happening, we all know, and obviously it's a different sport, but we all know Pete Rose and that whole story.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck does any athlete not think about that? I don't know.
I wonder if that age has any idea who Pete Rose is. But
oh, sure. I mean, I would imagine, but I guess
I don't know. I mean, I watched those videos where they ask him about their predecessors in the sport. I don't think a lot of the young guys do, but whether he does or not, I feel like this is a failing on the Falcons as much as it is on Calvin Ridley. But maybe that's just me. I just look at him still as a young, dumb kid. And maybe that's disrespectful because I don't know him at all. But Basketball Repair says, this is a shame, guys. A stud. Boy, is he. I think him and that DK Metcalf kid up in Seattle are the two scariest physical specimens at the wide receiver slot I think I've ever seen. They are just massive, amazing studs. 2020, over 1,000 yards receiving, injury this past year, and now a year suspension. Tough to come back from and be a number one receiver. You know, there's a good chance they'll have a brand new quarterback too, because, you know, who knows what's going to be going on, not next year, but the year after in Atlanta. So it's hard to imagine. Hey, Dave, what's going on, buddy? So anyway, we talked about A-Rod. We talked about Wilson, a little bit about Carson Wentz. I feel like I jumped on you when we talked about Wentz. Any thoughts on him going to Washington? I think you might have mentioned you thought it was a waste. I do too.
Yeah, I think Carson Wentz is just one of those guys that just has not hacked it in the NFL, and he's kind of I think he's going to probably finish his career as a journeyman.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do. Well, and he's gotten paid, so I can't imagine if it doesn't work in Washington, another team giving him a spot as a starter. maybe he'll be going come in as a backup and become a starter again. But I gotta be. Oh, go
if
ahead.
nothing else works, he could play stunt double for the Prince of whatever that guy's name is.
I don't know
which Prince. I'm forgetting his name now that I have to think about it, but he looks just like Prince.
When you say Prince, I want to sing Purple Rain.
Yeah, no, the royal family. The Prince that just him and his wife just moved back to out of the
Meghan Markle.
Family. Yeah, what's
Prince
her husband's
William?
name? Is it William?
I don't know. My daughter
anyway,
down the hallway would know.
It's the younger Prince. They look just alike. I mean, he could play stunt double for that guy.
I prefer the Let's Go Crazy Prince, but the Prince Harry. There you go, Prince Harry. Is that the one?
Prince Harry.
Prince Harry. When I said William, I don't know, William Harry. I think those are the names. Whatever. Can we talk Cowboys? So I'm a Cowboys fan. I think the Cowboys, they've got some big news. I don't know. When we talk, after we talk about these stories, what I want to hear from you is, do I make a bigger deal of it because I'm just the local guy here or what? Two different stories here for me. Dak and Zach. Dak Prescott, top 10 quarterback. Zach Martin, one of the top 5 guards in the history of the NFL. I think that. I really do. Both studs, big contracts. Both took a pay cut, deferred some money or whatever, to help the Cowboys cap situation. And I think that matters. I don't know what they're planning on doing with Amari, but I saw something about maybe a rumored trade to the Jets today. I think Amari still got some game. We gave up a lot for him. I'd like to see him stay if we can afford it. And I think we can with this. Also, Zeke, I hate to say this, he's a superstar here. All the kids are wearing Zeke jerseys, more Zeke jerseys than, well, I guess more Prescott jerseys. Tons of Zeke jerseys everywhere. I think it's time to let him go and let Pollard run the ball a little bit. I don't know. What say you? And then we got a Jerry Jones story. What are your thoughts on that?
I've always liked Dak Prescott since he first came in the league. I mean, he's just a good kid, I don't guess he's a kid anymore, but
very likable.
He's a good dude. He's a great guy.
You know his family story too? It's kind of tragic.
I don't.
Well, he lost his mom, and his brother committed suicide in the offseason, a year and a half ago?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Dak's, well, he's just a good guy. He does a lot of good stuff. And so is Zach Martin, from what I've seen. I mean, he's not in the news nearly as much as Dak is, obviously.
No, he's a lineman.
On the football field, yeah, exactly. On the football field, though, there's those. I mean, Zach, I mean it when I say that. I think he's one of the greatest guards in the history of the NFL. I think he's absolute Hall of Famer if he doesn't play another down ever. That's how good he is. I think he was ranked number 1 pro player, whatever the rankings are, again this year. I wouldn't swear to that. I didn't look at it too close, but I think I saw that headline. But anyway, I love that they do this. I love that they give up a little money to help the roster. What say you?
Oh, yeah. It's always a great move when a big player does that. Yeah.
Would you be shocked to see the Cowboys let Amari or Zeke or both go?
I would be surprised to see them let Zeke go. I mean, I would say, come up to Green Bay, Zeke. Come on.
Zeke's still got some game. And even if he's not the best rusher on the team, and he's not, Tony Pollard is, he's a great blocking running back. He catches the ball a little bit out of the backfield. So it's just that contract. It's so massive.
Yeah. Green Bay won't be able to afford that. So,
yeah, well. And then have you heard the Jerry Jones news?
No, I've been kind of out. I mean, I heard the Green Bay news, of course, and the Russell Wilson. I haven't heard anything else.
Jerry Jones news is ugly, and I want to think it's just somebody coming after a rich guy, but that's me being a homer. Woman sues Jerry Jones, alleges Dallas Cowboys owner paid her mother to conceal that she was his daughter. 25-year-old woman is suing the Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, alleging that the billionaire paid her mommy hundreds of thousands of dollars in 1996 to conceal that he was the girl's bio dad, a secret that the lawsuit says she has carried her entire life. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I don't know if this is just, I wonder when I see these things, is it just somebody going after the rich famous guy? But I also don't want to be that guy that just forgives everything. So I don't know. I think he's going to have to get his day in court. This is going to be ugly, and it's going to be front page of everything. I don't know if you've ever been down here, or if you haven't, if you ever do, just turn on sports radio. It doesn't matter. I swear to you. So Ken, I moved to Dallas Fort Worth a little over a decade ago. When the Rangers were in the World Series, I'm a big sports radio fan guy. I've always been. I'm from the San Diego, LA area. They have great sports radio out there. Dallas is where sports radio started. So I've listening to the radio stations every day. The Rangers are in the World Series, and I kid you not, every segment still led with the Cowboys out here. That's how rabid these people are out here. This is going to be huge news until it's not.
I mean, you would think something like that would be pretty easy to figure out. There should be, I mean, number one, DNA will tell yes or no on that part.
See, that's the scary thing. How do you say that and it not be true? Because all you got to do is go find a cup and a doctor, right?
Yeah. And then, I mean, I would imagine for that much money, there'd be financial records. I think that one should be pretty easy to say, you know,
which is
guilty, not guilty on.
Pass the pear making me hungry. Whatever. I'm actually hungry right now. And now you throw this out here. My mom makes Jerry Jones potatoes. Not something I expected to say in my chat tonight. From the 1994 Dallas Cowboys cookbook. I need that. Diced potatoes with onion, cream cheese, shredded cheddar, covered with crushed cornflakes. Ken, I think this is your fault. Last time I was on your show, we talked about cookies, and now I've got cornflake potatoes. Actually, that sounds delicious. What do you think?
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
I might have to, I don't know, screenshot this. Somebody screenshot that where we send it over.
If I don't know pass holder pair, but if I send my address, can you mail me some of those potatoes?
They're the best. Mike and or Val. It's a couple, Mike and Val. I love them both. They're amazing. Work with kids and just great people. Two of my favorite. You know, I say it on our show, your kind of show that you do. Again, this is Ken, the content creator. He talks about how to grow on YouTube, how to start on YouTube, how to start a live stream. You definitely need to check out his channel if that's you. And if you're on my channel, it probably, well, at least that might be you, right? Because we do that kind of thing on Sunday night. Anyway, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Often we'll say things like this journey here on YouTube. I made fun of the idea that I would make friends. Like I even want to now, but seriously, some of my favorite people, well, frankly, are in chat. And Kelly from the Mickey Bunch, Mar in Memphis right there, and Passover Pair, and so many others. I shouldn't do a list because, you know, then I leave somebody out, but these are some of my favorite people on the planet. You definitely want to know them.
Well, I've been in your chat for several months now, and yeah, I recognize a lot of the names. I know they're all good people. They seem like
they are. I've been blessed. I'm the luckiest man on the planet. God likes me best. Yes, find Maury Povich to say you are the father. I remember Maury Povich. Isn't that weird? Like I've never watched a Maury Povich show, but I know exactly who that is. I don't know what's my problem. I don't understand that.
I think yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah.
Santa Dad, hey y'all.
Hey, what's up, Santa Dad?
Santa Dad, I'm pretty sure you brought him over here. What is that? Is that a G for? Let's see. What could it not be? It's definitely not Georgia. What could it be that would annoy him? Georgetown? Is that G for Georgetown? I couldn't think of anything that fit. Santa Dad, you're always welcome. I'm glad you were here. So we've talked about A-Rod, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Ridley, my Cowboys. I didn't expect my Chargers to keep Mike Williams. Now, if I'm Mike Williams, the receiver, I want to stay. Justin Herbert can throw the ball, and I would want to stay, but I didn't think he was gonna. I like that pick. Of course, then we talked a little bit about Bobby Wagner leaving Seattle and Jerry Jones. Bobby Wagner, Mike Williams, any thoughts you want to share on that?
No, I mean, I think Mike Williams made the right call. I think I said this to you during the playoffs that because again, I was still convinced Aaron Rodgers was leaving. I said when Aaron Rodgers leaves, I would love to have a shot to either have Justin Herbert or Josh Allen. One of those two quarterbacks, I would love to have those guys in Green Bay. Justin Herbert's a great quarterback. When he finishes his NFL career, he is going to be one of the greats in history.
I love to hear that. And I agree. Like, I don't know if you just watched him in the playoffs, there's not a lot to not like. Like this guy, perfect is a scary word. I'm not going to say he's perfect, but what would I don't know. How do you coach that guy? He is remarkable. And they just lucked out in getting him. I can't believe it. I remember during the draft. So everyone was all high on Tua. And I watched Tua play, and I joke about it all the time. He throws like I punt. I don't know. I clearly a winner. I'm a fan of the man. Tua's a neat man. I think he's an unbelievably talented guy. But as a quarterback in the NFL, I just don't see it. But I even said, because I'm a draft guy, I said, maybe I want the Chargers to pick him because everybody sees something that I don't see. And honestly, I don't know much about the Justin Herbert kid from Oregon. Whew, am I glad they went that way. Ah, so lucky. Santa Dad says, I respect the Hoyas. I once saw John Thompson at Barnaby Coast in Las Vegas. He was playing We were playing craps, but he was at a machine, and I swear to you, he's bigger than the freaking machine. That man was huge. You don't know what I'm talking about. He's the former legendary coach of Georgetown.
Oh, yeah.
Same night, same casino. I saw Chuck Norris. Just walk by. Glad he
Did you
didn't
start
want to kill
telling Chuck Norris jokes?
I know, right? When did those start? Because those are the best.
Oh, they've been around for. I mean, I remember reading those in like 2005 when I was getting out of the Army. I remember that.
What my oldest daughter was it's probably still a huge. Is it taught? Yeah, Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen once, but that was her show and that was her man when she was very, very little. Anyway, it must have been some kind of celebrity event there. I don't know why I saw them both that night, but why am I telling you that? Oh yeah, because you said Georgetown. Santa Dad says the AFC West is a bear. Should be lots of good football there. Again, as a Chargers fan, could Russell Wilson just not? Thank you very much. Like, I don't know. The Raiders are good. I hate them. The Denver's got a real good roster, and now they got Russ Wilson. I think their window is short, though, so I like that. But, and then obviously Kansas City, who I hate the most. They're so freaking good.
I'll say it again. If the Broncos do not win a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson, then that trade was a bust.
I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know their roster that well. But are they? I mean, they gave up 2 firsts in 2 seconds. Like that alone. Forget all the rest. So Seattle gets their starting quarterback, if they want him to be, Drew Lock, right? They're clearly not going to be in contention this year, so why not? 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a stud tight end, I think a starter on defense, and then like a 5th for a 4th. I mean, that massive haul for them. Massive haul. Santa Dad says their household's happy with the Rodgers deal. Tua is soft and throws floaters. Exactly. Miami fires a great coach and keeps a mediocre quarterback. Yeah, I don't understand. There's more to that quarterback. I'm sorry. There's more to that head coach deal there. I mean, I don't know that he certainly knows how to coach. I wonder if he's just a jerk because he's talking a lot of crap this offseason, but we'll see. I don't know. Biggest news on here. I don't know. For me, and as a local Dallas guy, it might be the Jerry Jones news that nobody's talking about, at least nationally, but I bet they will soon. But Calvin Ridley being suspended for the whole year, A-Rod staying, Russell Wilson going to Denver. This is an NFL dream news week. I don't know. I was telling my buddy, he lives out in San Diego. He's a big baseball fan. And we were lamenting, is that the right way to say that? The stupidity of Major League Baseball and their lack of ability to keep their fans happy or even play a freaking game. They canceled the next 2 weeks today. Hey, Mark Brown. Oh, thank you so much. Hashtag Cowboys. Hi, Dole Dad. Hi, Ken. Mark Brown, thank you. I really appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the super chat. It means a lot. Mr. Willie in the house. Justin Herbert will have a Hall of Fame career. Amen. If the Chargers provide him O-line help. That kid Slater's a beast. One of the top 5 tackles probably in football already. I mean, that might be too high, but he's really good. And a franchise tight end and Francisco running back without that Herbert. We come and beat up Phillip Rivers with big numbers. Phillip Rivers, baby. Phillip Rivers. Anyway, I lost my train of thought a little bit there.
I gotta say hi to Mark and everybody else but Mark. Mark's one of my biggest supporters, man. He's such a good dude.
I've seen Mark in your chats, haven't I? Yeah. When I saw the name, I thought, I know that name. Mark, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for that. It means a lot. I hope you stick around. Pastor Pair says Bob Kraft will take Jerry Jones out to a spa to relax while he goes through this rough patch. So the Bob Kraft story, boy, can you tell? Oh, can I talk about Vladimir Putin without, everybody leaving and YouTube getting me? Do you know the Bob Kraft Vladimir Putin story?
No, I don't know that. I know the Bob Kraft spa story. I was getting ready to say.
Bob Kraft is
he's the owner of the Patriots.
Okay, so tell me the spa story and I'll tell you the Vladimir Putin story. I don't know.
This was like 2 years ago. He got busted for
yes, I know.
Yeah, doing things in spas. I'll let you connect those dots.
Yes, I vaguely remember that. Okay, well, I don't know the details of that, and we're going to get in trouble on both of these stories.
Well, the Bob Kraft story, I'll say real quick. You asked, what do I think is the biggest story? I think the Jerry Jones story will become a non-issue because he's got money like Bob Kraft, and money talks, money walks.
Yeah, it's kind of a good disinfectant if you got it in there. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think here, sports radio in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it'll probably be huge for a week or 3, but I bet you're right. The story will go away in a month, and we won't hear anything else about it. We'll see, but I bet you're right. I'm gonna have to think that through. So the Vladimir Putin story, it's kind of in the news, kind of not a good guy. So Bob Kraft goes to Russia, They meet Vlad at some event. Vlad says, "Can I see your Super Bowl ring?" He takes off his ring. He shows Vlad. Vlad looks at it, says, "Wow, this is beautiful." Turns around and walks away, never to return the ring. True story.
I mean, I believe it. He's doing far worse.
He's doing far worse, yeah. But that's insane. That's insane. Have you seen the video of Conor McGregor putting his arm around him and the guy slapping him off? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not going down the political road, but boy, pray for freaking Ukraine. It's a mess there. But anyway, I've always found that story amazing, and I don't know why that's not a bigger story.
And since we're on sports, I'm sure you heard about Brittany Griner being detained right now in Russia.
Brittany Griner's one of my good friends, and he's a member of my board of directors. His daughter, she's now a high school coach, but she was a high-level high school and then college basketball player. So she knew people in that world. I don't know anything about women's basketball, nothing. But I know that Brittany Griner is one of the biggest names in women's basketball. She's got gold medals, and she was a stud, the best player in the league, and blah, blah, blah. Baylor, right? Anyway, That story's ugly, man. I don't know what's going to happen there. You don't want to be in prison. Oh, and you don't want to be in prison in a bad actor nation during a freaking war. I mean, this is unprecedented.
Yeah, it's pure leverage. I won't say much about the whole thing just because it's political and I don't do political stuff, but I'll tell you, as a U.S. Army veteran, I am ready to suit up. That's all I'll say.
I love that about you. I saw a thing, I don't know, it was on the news somewhere. It might have been Fox News. I don't know. Whatever I was watching this morning with one eye, like I was doing my thing, but the TV was on. And they were interviewing some guy, I don't know, he's from New York or something. He used to be a Marine. And he was talking about suiting up and going over there. And they talked about, that's when I kind of perked up. And they were talking about how many, is it a foreign fighter? How many non-Ukrainians were flooding in to the zone to do whatever good they could do, I guess. It's terrifying stuff. Anyway, Ken, I'm a veteran also. Detroit Disney doing this. Yeah, by the way, any veterans who are in the house, thank you so much for your service. I'm talking to you, Ken, and everyone else. Passover parent, thank you so much. This stream is just what I needed. Me too, buddy. Thank you. Rough day at school with TikTok challenges getting kids in trouble. You guys are enjoyable to watch together. Ken's a great guy. If I could get, Ken, me and Ken have more in common than he knows. Passover fair. Sure. I don't know. I don't want to tell what somebody else does for a living, but Ken, what Mike does of Passover Pair and what I do are not the same, but they connect. And it's certainly about helping people. And I'm not on TikTok, but Ken is, as we talked about Sunday. But TikTok challenges getting kids in trouble. Well, I can see that.
I do not let my kids have TikTok, even though I'm on TikTok.
How do kids? I think you told me one's a teen or preteen and one's younger. Is that right?
Yeah, my kids are 11 through 16.
There you go. Okay. Oh, yeah. I thought, okay. Well, it's close. It's hard. I think that, well, I'm thinking about the mic thing, Passover Pair. So I was putting together a teen center way back when in San Marcos, California. And I was one of the people who was, I was going to run the place. And so I had a lot of say in what would happen there. And so we put together this, I don't know, we'll call it a committee for what they want to do. And so it was stakeholders in the city, right? So board members and city councilmen. And this is when MySpace was the big one. And they all were so certain that MySpace was going to ruin the planet. And, and if we let the kids have MySpace, we needed to hire like security guards and pay for all this stuff. And it's impossible to keep up is where I'm going. MySpace is dead as a doornail now. TikTok's a thing. Pretty soon TikTok's going to be all the old fogies. All the kids will be on the new thing.
Whatever the new thing.
It's impossible to keep up, right?
As long as I'm making money from TikTok, it can stay around.
I hope you're making money. I mean, I know your story, so I hope you continue to. There are government contracts, $2,000 a day to go to Ukraine. Really? Wow.
I didn't know that. I wonder.
$2,000 a day?
Government contracts, because I know
from Ukraine
to go to Ukraine. So he's probably talking about like
who's paying it though.
Well, the government contractors would, but I don't know how. I have to read up on that because I know we're not really getting involved militarily. So.
See, again, I don't want to get political either, but
yeah,
Putin already is mad at us. He thinks we're the reason for everything. And, today they were talking about how it's our fault. And we're not going to piss him off more, is my point. He's pretty pissed off. Anyway,
Well,
can someone donate a quarterback to the Carolina Panthers? Said Mr. Willie. Mr. Willie is the most knowledgeable, fun North Carolina football fan of all time. Now, the negative part about that is he's the only NFL football fan in Carolina, I'm pretty sure, right? I bet there's a conversation to be had with Mr. Willie about Coach K and, Taylor Hansborough had some things to say. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you guys do, but
I'll tell you, that's one of the, you know what? I'm glad you said that. That to me may be the biggest news story of the week.
Coach K and
Coach
Taylor?
K in his final game.
Did you hear what North Carolina's saying?
No.
So one of the coaches didn't shake somebody's hand. Taylor Hansborough. You remember? Do you know who Taylor Hansborough is?
Yeah.
He came out and said they're making more of a big deal than it needs to be, and there's some dislike from North Carolina to Duke. I mean, what are they down like 8 miles away or something? Right? I don't even know. Something like that.
Yeah. I'm more amazed by the fact I had to look it up because I didn't know how long Coach K has been coaching at Duke longer than I've been alive.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, and he was at
started
Army with
coaching
Bobby
at
Knight,
Duke.
right?
He started in the 70s.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So the fact that he retired, that's crazy to me.
I remember when Coach Smith, Dean Smith, was retiring with, and it's just amazing. I guess it's part of getting old. I'm 52 now, so I'm watching people who I looked up to. Like, I love coaches. I love military leaders. I love coaches. I hate politicians, but I love studying the old presidents. I almost said I love politicians. I can't get that out of my mouth. I like leadership. I like learning from leadership. And Coach K is an interesting one. He's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that Grant Hill pass to Christian Laettner at the buzzer, Kentucky. I mean, that is college basketball right there. That is the top. That and the Tyus Edney UCLA run. But anyway, Coach K's seen a lot of neat stuff.
You know what's funny about that? I'm not a Kentucky fan. I'm a Louisville Cardinals fan.
Well, that's right. That's your area. That's right.
And in the state of Kentucky, right? I don't know how much you guys know, but in the state of Kentucky, it's a huge rivalry. You're either Kentucky or Louisville. You're not both, and you dislike the other, right?
So to be clear, you're Louisville, not Kentucky.
I'm Louisville, yeah. But Kentucky fans still hate Christian Laettner.
I mean, everybody hates Christian. Isn't there a 30 for 30
ESPN
like
yeah.
that?
It was actually on today. Yeah.
I've seen it. It's great. I feel bad for that guy. He seemed like a nice guy in that whatever documentary. So
Right.
How does one from Kentucky pick? Like, what is it, regional or what is it? Walk me through this. I need to know this. Red versus blue, says Mark. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. So I've been a Louisville fan for as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember. And now my kids are, because I am, I guess. Because if they say they were Kentucky fans, I'd kick them out.
So I'm Team Iron Man because my daughter's Team Captain America. So you're going, they have to be. I had to be the other. Like, I Captain America would totally be what I'm a very patriotic guy, but I'm going the other side because my daughter, but you're saying daughter's got to have yours. I find that.
No, they don't have to. It's just kind of turned out that way.
Okay.
We've gone to a lot of Louisville games, and
I'm assuming we're talking basketball, or are we talking football? Or both?
What games I've been to?
Yeah.
Basketball and football.
Okay.
Yeah, soccer. We've been to soccer games.
Wow.
So we've taken, the kids have gone, especially the boys, they've gone with me to a lot of games. We went one time to see the team practice at Fort Knox, which was cool.
Oh, very cool.
My son, my 16-year-old, which he was probably 5 at the time, he got a poster autographed by every player that was there.
Oh, wow.
So we've met Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
We've met Bobby Petrino.
Nice.
Brian Brom. Yeah,
Bobby Petrino's had a little trouble too.
Yeah, he's better off where he's at now. But
I remember. Well, that's a whole nother topic. We could do this for a while. You keep saying things that make me want to go down rabbit holes. I think that's fun. But yeah, So I remember an article. I think it was in GQ. Pretty sure it was, and it was about Coach Pitino and how. I remember that it seemed to me that I needed to go into coaching because they threw money and horses and like I'm watching Yellowstone right now. And if I remember, it sounded like they were giving him the Yellowstone Ranch. I mean, and then it just all went away. Poof. Because of what? He was in a bar with a girl, right? Isn't it always that?
Petrino, yeah, the motorcycle. Yeah.
Miguel wants us to talk football. You came late, buddy. We talked about A-Rod and Wilson and Wentz and Ridley and the Cowboys, Dak, Zach, Amari, Zeke, Mike Williams, Bobby Wagner, Jerry Jones. We can do it again. We can start over if you like. But I'm glad you're here regardless, Miguel. I hope you stick around.
I know what he wants.
Go, Pack, go!
That's what he wants.
I feel like my ears have this little like sharp pain when I hear the Pack part. Miguel, what I need to know is, did Dez catch the ball? You can make it up to me. Did Dez catch the ball? That's all I needed to go for Miguel and everyone else in chat, frankly. Santa Dad says we were at the Final Four back in 2013 when Louisville was there. So you still haven't answered me. How do you pick? When you always, since you were a little kid, you said, but that doesn't answer my question. How did you pick? Like I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you. How did you pick Louisville or Kentucky, and who decides if it's Louisville or Louisville?
Oh, it's Louisville. It's Louisville.
Is it?
I don't know how I picked it. As long as I can remember, I've been a Louisville fan since I was, crawling. So I don't know.
Miguel wants draft talk. You want to give him some? Are you a draft Nick? Ken, you big draft fan?
Yeah, but I don't know much about the draft this year. I haven't been keeping up too much.
So I was reading about, I got it right here. Here we go. I don't remember whose article this was, but I put down some of them. I don't think we're going to get a quarterback in even the top 10 picks. I think Kenny Pickett's the first quarterback to go, and I think he goes to Washington 11. Now, I say that because I worked this out tonight because I'm going to be on Miguel and everybody else tomorrow night. NFL Inside the Huddle over on Pete McDevitt's channel. We're talking all football, lots of draft talk, all this other stuff we've been talking about too. But I was putting it together because I wanted to be able to articulately not sound like an idiot. I can't remember the last time we didn't have a quarterback in the top 10, but my mock has Washington at 11 taking the first quarterback, not Malik, Miguel, but Kenny Pickett. But now they just made the trade today. So I don't even know if it's going to be there. I've got Hutchinson, defensive end, going in the first pick to Jacksonville. Hamilton, a safety, going 2. Offensive lineman going at 3 and 4. Defensive end at 5. Tackle at 6. No, what do we call it? No fancy, sexy position player until receiver at 7. The Giants have the pick 5 and 7. New York Jets at 4. New York Giants at 5. New York Giants at 7. They should be having this draft in Yankee Stadium or something, man. Miguel thinks that Malik's the best. So I got to be honest with you. I haven't seen Malik play. I've seen some of his workout stuff, just the stuff you see on the NFL Network or whatever. So it's hard for me to say I really believe in the guy. But boy, is he a talented kid. And I don't even love Pickett that much. I've seen him play a little bit. Obviously he looks great. But I don't know. Any opinion on that at all, Ken? I think that, and I'm not just trying to talk about quarterback, but kind of a top layer draft. I think when you have a sexy, skill position player at the top, quarterback, running back, which you haven't had in a while, receiver, somehow the draft is more popular, more interesting to the general public. I don't look at it that way, but I don't know. What say you? Any thoughts?
Well, I was looking at the draft order because I think the news of Russell Wilson, I think things that happened in the last couple of days are going to alter whatever the draft would have looked like 2 days ago.
Well, Seattle's got the 9th pick.
Yep. So that's
in my notes here. I've got them taking Thibodeau, but he's a defensive end. But I put in the notes Pickett ? Willis ? But I don't think I don't know. Now that they flipped Wilson, they got Drew Lock. Does that make sense? Does Willis go there? Does Pickett go there? Let's see what the chat says. Santa's dad said just no period, Jeff, period. I don't know what we're talking about. Is Malik Willis your quarterback 1 in the draft? Miguel, I don't know. Again, I don't know him well enough. I'll do my research, but it's hard to say. Was it Liberty, right? Was he at Florida State before? I don't remember where he left. Was it Florida State? And then I don't know. But he was at Liberty last year. It's hard to know, right? I think Pickett's probably the safer pick, and Willis is the Josh Allen of the thing. So I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but I'll have to check that out.
So I'm looking at the USA. I'm looking at the USA Today mock draft, and they're projecting Malik Willis to go to Pittsburgh Steelers pick 7.
Really?
So
Pittsburgh Steelers. I got the Giants at the 7th pick. Oh, do they have a trade in there? Maybe
they're saying projected trade. Yeah, they're saying the Steelers may trade up.
So I do mock drafts all the time. I never, ever. Oh, Auburn. Thank you, Miguel. You're right. Auburn. Yeah. I never project trades because it's just impossible. I mean, how would you know? But anyway.
Well, you think about the Steelers. I mean, Roethlisberger retiring.
Well, and then, the Giants have those 2 picks, so that would make sense. I mean, you could smash those together and move up if you got somebody you really want, but I don't know. There's so many ways this can go. I mean, Jacksonville in that 1, they need everything but quarterback. Detroit at 2, they need everything, period. Houston at 3, they need everything probably but quarterback. They like their quarterback, even though people like to forget that. Jets at 4, they need everything but quarterback. Giants at 5 and 7, they need a lot. I mean, these are teams. Carolina at 6, do they reach for a quarterback that high? I doubt it. My point is, all these teams need help times 10. I mean, there's no team that creeps up to the top. There's no playoff teams at the top because of a trade or anything to be seen here at all. Very interesting stuff. Let's see. Willis is the sexy pick for sure. I agree. Huge arm and tremendous speed. Willis is a great character too. I really don't know much about Willis. I mean, I know he's the name. I can't speak about him too much. I need to do a little more research. Just pick one of those dogs, says the G Santa Dad. They dominated Indy safety, Cincy linebacker, Dean. Oh, I don't know. I saw that Dean and made me think of Dion. We got to talk about Dion here. Very weak quarterback class, but the best edge class ever. Yeah. Two of the first 3 picks could be defensive ends. In my little mock here, it's 2 of the first 5, but think about that. And I'll tell you what, if you pick an edge rusher and you hit on that edge rusher, that helps your team for a decade, man. That is so hard to get an edge rusher. They're outside of a quarterback and maybe a left tackle. It's the most important position on the football field, I think, in today's game.
I was looking ahead to see who they were projecting the Packers to take, and they're saying Chris Olave from Ohio State.
Well, you guys would be picking real late, right?
Yeah, 28. I mean, we definitely need wide receiver help.
Ooh, it's hard to project down that low. Tomlin loves Willis, according to the reports. I mean, from what I've read, everybody loves the kid. I haven't seen it much. Mr. Willie says the Seahawks should roll with Drew Lock and see what they got with him and draft him. I agree. I think they should roll with him. And frankly, if you're not going to win, I don't like to call it tanking. I wouldn't want anyone to tank, but take you got 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks in the next 2 years. That's Prospect City, man. See you, Nick. You have a good night. Appreciate you hanging with us. Detroit Lions picking Jeff Bates in the 7th round. At what position, Mr. Willie? At what position? I don't have the body type for the position they let me play back in high school anymore. Just going to throw that out there. So I might get hurt. Hutchinson got ghosted versus Georgia, dominated. Maybe look at those UGA O lines as well. Sounds like a homer in there. I think the receivers are the best group in this draft. I've read a lot about the receiver group. I think you might be right. Miguel agrees with you, Ken. Like a defensive tackle for the Packers, says pass holder pair. Again, tomorrow night and every Thursday night, Inside the Huddle over on Pete McDevitt's channel. I'm loving the chat and its knowledge tonight. I'm really, really excited about that. And I'll tell you, it happens on Thursday night too. So you're going to want to check that out. We are talking, there's 9 topics he wants to talk about, which is a little bit much, but the draft is a big one. So we'll be talking draft tomorrow night, Miguel and anyone else who's here. If you were a GM and you could start, and everyone was a free agent, and you could start with any one player, not for one season, but for moving forward, who would you take?
It's going to be either Justin Herbert or the kid from Buffalo.
Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean,
Allen,
can't argue that one either. Herbert's mine too, but Allen's hard to argue. If it wasn't a quarterback, who would it be?
See you, Mark.
Have a good one, buddy. Thank you again. Appreciate you.
If it wasn't a quarterback?
Yeah, who is the most valuable non-quarterback in the NFL is really what I'm asking. Pass holder pair says Mahomes or Allen. I don't know about Mahomes. He's been elite, but guys like that terrify me. And what I mean by guys like that are guys who throw against their body 3 times a game. Myles Garrett from Miguel. That's a good call right there.
That's such a tough question to say. Aaron Donald would be a good one.
See, I like the Donald pick, except for he's at the end of his career. I don't think so. He thinks so.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to actually retire.
I don't think he's going to either, but he threatened to, so he's close. I mean, if you're thinking about it, you're not far if you're not there.
Yeah. I don't know how you pick anybody besides a quarterback, but that's just me.
I dare to say it might be Rashawn Slater, the left tackle also in LA for Herbert, which bodes well for them. Oh, Jonathan Taylor from Mike and Dorval. Mr. Willie says I would take Mahomes.
Yeah, that's my pick. Jonathan Taylor. Good call.
See, I wouldn't take a running back. I wouldn't take. He's super good, but running backs drop off a cliff. I mean, pretty fast. Derrick Henry, look out.
Yeah, but if we're talking, I can pick any one player to start. It's got to be a skill position. And Jonathan Taylor's still young. He's a good back.
I don't know. I like who said Myles Garrett. I like the Myles Garrett idea a lot. I like that. Oh, who's the edge kid in Washington? He's a beast.
Nico says TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. I mean, again, I would like a younger player, but I like TJ Watt a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I didn't say Aaron Rodgers or even Devontae Adams, because they got some age on him. Devontae's still got several years left, but
you see, they franchised him, right? They franchise tagged him.
Yeah, I wanted to see how that'll go. They're going to have to redo his contract or he'll sit out. I'm pretty sure.
Really? Oh, wow.
I
Chase Young. So. Yeah, Miguel. Chase Young. Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what. I was watching some video of is it Stingley, Derek Stingley, the cornerback, mid-round, first-round draft pick probably this year. Not probably, for sure. And he was covering Jamar Chase. It was in practice. And he was every bit game for it. It was Trayvon Diggs. I mean, I love me some Trayvon, but he got beat a lot too. He got a lot of picks, but he got beat a lot. I mean, but I'll tell you what, that Derek Stingley, I take him on my team because of the film I watched him covering Jamar at LSU. It was pretty impressive stuff. Chase is a great call. I agree. Chase is good. What a great opportunity for Cincinnati too. So Cincinnati's got Burrow, they've got Chase, and by the way, if Gronk doesn't go to Tampa, he's hinted about going to Cincinnati. Woo, that would be fun to watch. I don't think Cincinnati's going to have as good of a year next year, but offensively, they're going to put up some numbers. I can't believe we've already been an hour. We've gone over an hour. I think we should probably throw it to you. What do you think? What was the biggest news of this week? What was the most surprising news of this week? What are you most looking forward to over the next couple of weeks in the NFL? And do you want to touch on baseball before we go?
I'm still going to say, well, first of all, I have to agree with Mr. Willie. Green Bay best running back is A.J. Dillon. Absolutely 100% true.
So what's the deal there? Why is he not getting – why did he not get at the carries? Or did he?
I mean, he got a pretty decent share just because he's, just because of who was playing in front of him, right? It was the same way when Jamal Williams was there before Jamal Williams went to Detroit.
Yeah.
But I think A.J. Dillon will become the RB1.
See, I think that's how I feel about Pollard here in Dallas.
But I'm still going to say the biggest news for me was Russell Wilson. I don't know if anybody saw that coming.
Yeah. I think we all thought that Denver was going to be all in on A-Rod because they said it. So I feel like it should have been something we were looking at, but it wasn't. Yeah, I agree with you.
As soon as they hired our offensive coordinator, I was like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is gone, or quarterback coach.
Yeah.
It's like Aaron Rodgers is gone.
Miguel clearly knows his draft stuff. I love it. Stingley is a stud. Again, that video I watched, it was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 routes just in his grill. Amazing. And then we're talking Jamar Chase. Like, he wasn't covering me. It was Jamar freaking Chase. So I love the kid. Yeah, the Cincinnati kids. Do I have his name on here? Is it Sauce, right? Sauce. Yeah, Sauce Gardner. There it is. Everybody loves him. I haven't seen video on him like I just watched on Stingley. But again, I'm just getting started on that. Touch on baseball. Go Tribe, says Miguel. Tribe, there's no Tribe anymore. They're I don't know. What are they? I think they should have called them the Charlie Sheens. Aren't they the Guardians or something? I don't know.
We can talk baseball. I don't know. So what's the whole deal with the lockout? It's just money, right? I mean,
yeah, it's the owners. I mean, so I have a very, very strong opinion. I'm going to probably piss off half the chat right now. Hey, Hatbox Ghost. I was hoping you would pop in. We'll get to you in a minute, buddy. I'm so pro player, anti-owner on this one. They locked out the players. They wouldn't let them negotiate. They're clearly, according to the players, and I agree, not negotiating in good faith. I have no idea why you would buy a team and then lock out the players. It's so dumb. Also, ready? I'm sorry. If you're really a Bernie Sanders guy, you're not going to like me right now. I know I can't stay on the politics. I apologize. But I don't get salary caps. I just don't. You're an owner, and you got 31 other owners. and you're going to set up rules so you don't spend money. Like if Ken, the content coach, is the best shortstop out there, he's a free agent. I really need a shortstop. I can pay him whatever I want. I should be able to pay him whatever I want. I am the owner. I understand my finances. I understand the value that I believe he brings. What's to stop me from paying it? Some artificial rule set up by the owners? It doesn't make sense. You set up a wall around your own self. It makes no sense to me. And of course, what the owners are doing, in my never so humble opinion, is trying to get, how do I say this, public opinion against the players, because the easiest thing to say is, oh, they're millionaires, they should go play a game. Here's what they should do. They should put 5% of their salaries or value into a fund so they can pay all the players who are going to get screwed, because it's not that many. There's 5 to 10 new guys every year that are going to get screwed. And the players should go to Aruba, and they should somehow pay the players and watch the owners put on their depends while we are watching AA and AAA players. I could not be more pro player, anti-owner. And the argument will be, let me know in chat, crush me, tell me why I'm wrong. The argument will be, but they're millionaires. Yeah, well, they're billionaires, and they're the ones telling the millionaires they can't play the game that they signed them up to play. So sign them up to play, but tell them you can't. Make a rule so you can't pay people. I mean, just don't pay them if you don't want to pay them. It doesn't make sense. Also, last thing, here's how the owners can win, and they'll never do this. Get rid of arbitration. Get rid of free agency waiting until 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, whatever it is. Pull it down lower. Every year, the biggest free agents get paid too much. Why? Because the market is too small. There's only so many shortstops. There's only so many left-handed pitchers. There's only so many whatevers. So the market is always, I have to pay more for the guy if I want to fill the hole, because the owner's system is stupid. And the world wants us to have a salary cap. Why? Because they think they're punishing the players with that. I'm sorry, but Economics 101 says that's stupid. What say you, Ken?
I'm with you on pretty much everything. I'm definitely pro player also. The only thing I would say on salary cap, I'd be okay without it, but I'm also okay with the salary caps because of team markets.
Tell me more.
Right? So if you take, let's talk NFL, right?
Okay.
Just salary cap. Just if you take Jerry Jones, if you take Jerry Jones and you stack him against the Packers, right, as far as ownership and money, big oil money Jerry Jones came in with, all the money they make down there compared to the market in Green Bay. Have you ever been to Lambeau?
I have not. I've never even been in Wisconsin.
It's a stadium that sits in the center of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
And when you drive in, you get off the interstate, you turn on Lombardi Avenue, and you drive up by the stadium. There's houses here. There's houses on every side. There's a bank, a convenience store, and then more houses.
I love that.
It's awesome. And actually, little known, I don't know if most people know this little known fact, Lambeau Field is not actually in Green Bay. It's in Ashwaubenon.
I mean, New York's not even in New York in the NFL.
Right. But anyway, that's why I'm okay with salary cap, but I'd be okay with it not being there also, because I agree with you. I'm definitely a free market guy.
I'm a free market guy in real life, but I think that their closed market, to be real, is what costs them. Again, if you need a catcher this year and there's only 5, they're going to get paid higher. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. If there's no inventory, it's dumb. The Santa Dad says minimum salary is now up to $400K. I think it's actually $750, about to be $800, which is insane. Mama, don't let your babies not throw left-handed and throw strikes, because that's how you get rich quick. I only want the small markets like the Reds to be able to compete with the likes of the Yankees. I don't see a lot of evidence that the big market teams are the teams that always win. You have to ignore the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's. And there's no bottom there. By the way, Derek Jeter just left Miami because they're about to give up on a team that's going to be unbelievable. They have the best young pitching staff going, and they've already said they're not going to even try. The owners set it up. Their system allows the Pittsburghs and the Miamis to tank, screwing the fans and profit. There's no incentive for the owners to try to even attempt to win, which doesn't screw the owners. They get paid, it screws who? The fans. So I can't stand the current system. The idea to have a tax, it's not a salary cap. I get it. It's a tax. It's so stupid. I don't like the Mets at all, but Steve Cohen seems to have a lot of good ideas on this. He's the Mets owner. He says, if you're going to go over and they're going to tax you, don't go over a little bit, go over a ton, because you're going to get taxed anyway. And you know what happens then? Pittsburgh doesn't try. Miami doesn't try. All these other teams don't try because they get paid. It's stupid. Hatbox Ghosts. We had talked a little Carson Wentz. We'll come back to it before we close up. The reason why the owners set up the salary cap because the big market teams would pay the best players. I don't subscribe to that. I think when Mark Cuban wanted to buy the Dodgers and it didn't work, he said, well, I'll try the Angels and it'll try the Pittsburgh Pirates and they'll try the Texas Rangers. Bob Kraft ain't from New England. They're not local. They're billionaires buying toys. I mean, doesn't make sense to me. Players Union is killing the mid-market teams, though. Trying to diminish the salary tax and reduce team control of young players will kill 50% of the teams in baseball. I don't agree. I think that a free market would lower the rising cost of players, but whatever. Right? It's not Major League Economics. It's baseball. Maybe we need another all-female baseball league. Anyone know if Tom Hanks wants to coach a team? I mean, how's the WNBA doing?
I love that movie, though. There's no crying in baseball.
You know what, Ken? I've never seen that movie.
What? I
love baseball. I love Tom Hanks. Never seen it. I don't know why. Brittany M. Jeff, I come in and you say New York. Yeah, Brittany, what's going on? I hope you're having a great night. I don't know why I couldn't read tonight. My eyes are getting weird. All leagues have teams that tank. I know, and I hate it. I hate it. If I was a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, I would be so against the salary cap. And they're going to make money every year. I mean, any Pirates fans in here? I don't know. Can this stream become a regular or semi-regular thing? I'll talk to Ken. You never know. Jeff, go watch that movie. I really need to. So I love Tom Hanks. Gina Davis, right? Love her. She's great. Don't like Rosie. Don't like Madonna. Oh, I like who's the little rock star girl? Tank girl. She's in that, right? Lori Petty. I like her. I don't know why I haven't seen the movie. Something else in sports I think is nuts. City states giving owners breaks on new teams. Always a losing proposition for the local citizens. Well, I don't know. So I'm from San Diego, right? I'm an LA fan, but I'm from San Diego. The Padres and the Chargers bounced up against those city councils and county officials a lot. And now the Chargers are in LA and they've got big Mission Valley eyesore of a stadium just sitting there. I don't know. That's
that's a pretty standard thing, though, I know, like, where I live, new businesses coming in. I mean, I live in a smaller area than what you're talking about, but, when new businesses come in, they typically get taxed. We had a restaurant open not too far, kind of in the neighboring town, and they got, like, a 7-year tax break to open there because there's literally no other really good restaurant there. So the city wanted them there, so they gave them a tax break.
So I remember when LA Rams went to St. Louis, it was because St. Louis paid a ton to the owner for it to happen. I'm a free market guy. I can't be a not free market guy there too. I think like Jerry Jones gets ripped for being a good businessman. I mean, if the city wants to keep Chili's, they're going to make it a Chili's favorable city. They want to keep. If the San Diego wanted the Chargers would be there. The Spanoses didn't want to leave. The Spanoses begged them to keep them. I don't know.
And I think just speaking on that, if the business lasts there, then the city ends up making that money back 10, 100-fold.
Yeah.
So
the tax base of having a professional team seems to me to far surpass upfront costs. I don't know. So I'm an anti-government. Government's not good at a lot of things. Again, I'm trying not to talk politics. It feels like it's coming up a lot tonight. But if you're the mayor or the city council and you lose a team, you're going to have a lot harder time recouping that tax base than getting a new team. You're not going to get a new team. I mean, that is a lot of people coming to town. That is a lot of hotel rooms. That is a lot of, restaurants and bars. And, it does so much for the local economy. I just doesn't make sense to me to pay for a whole thing as a city, but you've got to have some incentive. I mean, it really is there's an opportunity for somebody to go somewhere else. I mean, how many cities in America would love to have an NFL franchise or a major league franchise that don't?
I wish we had one somewhere in Kentucky, but
it seems to me that it should be. How could it not be a competitive thing? I mean, yeah, Louisville. What? I mean, they've got enough people. I mean, Tampa Bay or Louisville. I mean, there's got to be more money and population in Louisville. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me. I mean, Tampa Bay is just a little city, west of Orlando. So I don't know. I mean, lots of Sonics. Yeah, exactly, Pearl. Exactly.
Green Bay is the small. I would be willing to say I'm pretty sure Green Bay is the smallest town when it comes to sports towns.
Oh, I would think so. Yeah, I don't really understand their ownership situation. So they don't really have an owner, right? So who fires the GM? How does that even work?
So the way and Nico said there, at least the Packers open up shares to pay for their stadium. So that goes back to the history of the Green Bay Packers. The way that
I need to hear the story. I don't know the story.
Yeah, so Acme Packing Company, when Curly Lambeau and who was the Bears guy? Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name. Anyway,
George Halas. Boy,
George Halas. Yep. So they used to play football between those two cities and between these factories. Anyway, in Green Bay they wanted to set up a football team, and so what they did, they went to the city trying to get the city to buy into this. They needed to raise $2,500 to pay for uniforms and equipment and everything just to set up and play. And so the way they did this is they went out to the city and they convinced business owners and residents to it was basically a fundraiser. If you guys will donate. So what they did was that they promised the city, they promised Brown County and the city of Green Bay, Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, they promised them that for forever that it would be a shareholder team. This is how they would run the team. Matter of fact, even season tickets, if you're a Brown County resident, then you get first dibs on season tickets.
Huh.
So when season tickets open up, as long as you have a established residency in Brown County, then you're first on the list. Well, first among, from everybody else.
Because now thousands is when there's a playoff game, LA did it for the Chargers. Dallas does it here. Please don't sell your tickets. Padres did it in San Diego. They put out full paper ads. Please, when people have the newspaper, please don't sell your tickets to the out-of-towners. There was as many Niner fans here as there were Cowboys fans that last game. I know LA had the trouble. They were the home team in the Super Bowl, but the week before there was more Niner fans than LA fans as the home team there. So craziness. Yep. Miguel's got a hot take there. You destroy Major League Baseball if you don't rein in player salaries and subsidize mid-market teams. You need cities like Detroit, Tampa, and Cleveland. Boy, I can't talk to have a competitive league. I don't know. I'm not a big subsidized guy. I think the owners have the profit. So the data on money, profits, revenue for Major League Baseball has been through the roof. Rob Manfred, who I think is not a good guy, came out recently and said, well, in the last 5 years, revenues have been bad. Well, yeah, that's 2019, 2020, one pandemic year and one semi-pandemic year. So I think it's BS. I think they had like 40 straight years of revenue increases. Also, Ken, help me, because you're the only one who can respond here. How do you explain to me that the owners need help not choosing how much to pay someone? So I run an organization. I have some employees, and I don't have any rule that says I don't get to go to my employee and say, well, I can't pay you that because there's a rule against it. They know that it's my decision. You want to raise? How much do you want? Let's talk about if it's worth it. How is it any different? Why is it different? Why is there a rule for the owners to not pay what they choose to pay? Like, it's not like if there's not a salary cap, they have to pay him. Mike Trout, the Angels didn't have to pay him that money, right? The Packers don't have to pay A-Rod that money. Nobody's holding a gun to their head. Right. Why do I need a rule to prevent me from doing what apparently I might want to do in the future? Can somebody explain that to me?
I think it just comes down to competitiveness. I mean, kind of like what Miguel just said. I think if you don't have a salary cap,
The Yankees
then
can afford it, but the
yeah, I mean, you stack
Guardians can't.
yeah, if you stack Steinbrenner money against Cleveland money or whatever, it's totally different. And then you get Steinbrenner can afford, I guess it's his son now, right? Not George, but anyway, the Steinbrenners can afford every great player in Major League Baseball, and they just stack a team. And all the other teams have, that don't make that money. They can't. It just takes the competitiveness out of it. I'm pretty sure, isn't that why salary caps were ever instituted in the first place?
I think that's why they say salary caps are instituted.
Yeah.
I might not subscribe to that opinion.
It makes sense to me though to keep sports leagues competitive. If you have the Yankees winning every year and you have the Cowboys winning every year, like I know you'd love that, but nobody else would.
So I hear you. Do we have evidence in any major sport that happens? And when it does happen, is it good or bad for the sport? Two-parted question.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look in history because I mean, salary caps have been around for how long now?
I don't know, late 80s. I'm guessing. I don't really know. I don't.
Yeah. So
my point is that when there's dynasties, so let's talk about it. Three greatest football dynasties. Go.
Three greatest football dynasties.
I just random on three. I don't know who you'll say, obviously.
I mean, if you're looking at the history of the NFL, I'd have to put the Cowboys in there.
Okay.
At least before Jerry Jones bought them. I don't know why they haven't been able to win since he bought them, but
okay.
Cowboys. '49ers.
Okay.
And I can't not say Packers with Bart Starr and, Vince
I might
Lombardi
throw in
and
Pittsburgh as a fourth team there.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
You know what I didn't hear? I didn't hear LA and I didn't hear New York. I don't know. Is Pittsburgh a big market? In baseball, it sure as heck isn't. Let's do baseball. Now, the Yankees for sure are the greatest dynasty ever.
Braves.
Who else?
I don't know.
You could argue the Cardinals. I think they have the best record. The Dodgers have certainly been really good lately.
There you go.
But my point is, and I guess baseball, you could say LA, but LA's got Anaheim and the Dodgers. Major League Baseball has the Yankees and the Mets. I don't see evidence for it. I don't know.
I'd have to go back and kind of read the history of the salary cap. I mean, the salary cap's been a thing for my whole life. So,
yeah. Senadette says between 20 and 2010, the Hawks gave away playoff tickets when they made it and couldn't even do that. The stands were still not full. Season tickets waiting list for Green Bay, 130 strong. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Hey, Everett, what's going on, buddy? Hope you figured out your camera, man.
He's right. 30 years.
That's crazy.
Yep. We were at Lambeau Field a couple of years ago. We went on a Legends tour. We got to walk around with Butler and some coaches and stuff. Got to tour the entire stadium out on the field. It was awesome. But there was a lady that was with us in our tour group, and I think she said she was like 40, 42, 43 years old. Her parents signed her up for season tickets when she was a toddler, and she just got them like 5 years ago.
Wow. That's crazy. Browns, Patriots, 49ers, Cowboys, Steelers, Green Bay. I mean, come on. Just the fact that you said Pittsburgh and Green Bay in there, it makes my point. Green Bay Packers would never exist if they played baseball. That's the problem with baseball. Is it? Does, I don't know, name a small town. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a midtown. Does Austin, Texas deserve a baseball team? We better off with them having one? I don't know. You'd have to explain to me from the baseball perspective maybe what he means, because again, I'm not a huge baseball guy. Like I love the Brewers. I watch the Brewers, but I don't know baseball history or the business side of it. So I don't know. Well, I think that they pretend, just use the easier word, that they have a salary cap when they don't. They have a luxury tax. And so when you go above a number, it's a pretty convoluted scheme to keep teams from not going over the max 2 years in a row. In football, they've got this. Come on. Does anyone think the franchise tag is a good for the NFL, good for the players, good for the fans answer? No, I hate it. The players certainly hate it.
Yeah.
In baseball, is arbitration a good thing? No, it's crushed the owners. The players are made out like bandits. and it makes players and furious at the team. You're going to argue about one of your best players and how he's not as valuable as he thinks he is, and you do it publicly. It's insane. I just think it's, hey, bro, you have a good night. I think that I don't know how they get in position, because obviously they know their business. They have business acumen. They're not idiots. Boy, they act it once they become owners, right? And again, I'll say it. They don't have to pay them. I guess the argument is, well, the Yankees will win every year. Or I don't know who even it would be in football. I just don't think it's true. I also hate that athletes aren't allowed to play where they want to until longer than the average career in most sports. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, what other job are you not allowed to go where you want because of the draft situation? I just think it's nuts. Dennis says, by the way, I think we would have to set some parameters for what determines a dynasty period of time here. I mean, that's fair. I mean, but my point is, when I ask the question, the reason I say it is there evidence in any sport that money can buy a championship? The Rams this year sure tried, and maybe you can make an argument. They went all in. I don't know. You need 30 teams for a baseball season to work. Can't have New York versus California every year. I mean, Major League Baseball had 24 for a long time. I don't know. But I think more teams is better, Miguel. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think more is better. I like to have more teams. I think it should be a division indivisible by 4. So we should have 32 in all of them. But that's a whole math scheduling thing that I could bore you guys to death with. 2 Qs. Go. Our best college football player of all time. Best college football season of all time. Ken, go.
Ooh, best college football player of all time.
Well, I'm going to make people mad with my answer. Although I keep thinking of new names, so maybe not. I might have to give you 3 or 4 now that I'm thinking about it. And I've got my answer for season too.
I mean, the only thing, the thing that comes to my mind for the best college football season of all time is the year of the Bush push.
Bush and Young?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I lived in SoCal at the time, so watching UFC every Saturday was definitely something we all did.
Right.
And
was that 2006 or something like that?
Yeah, that feels right, but I wouldn't know. But Vince Young, Matt Leinart, my goodness, those USC teams were stacked. So yeah, that's my season. And player?
I have no idea.
So for me, it's
that is
Tim
tough.
Tebow. For me, it's Tim Tebow, but I think Bo Jackson was amazing. Herschel Walker at Georgia.
I was gonna say Herschel Walker, but I wasn't confident enough to put that. But
he was probably my first. What are we talking? 82, I guess. I don't even know if that's right. It feels right. Probably the first guy that I was a fan of. That wasn't one of my teams, you know. I just love to watch him. But Earl Campbell in Texas makes me think of some of those highlights, but that's before my time a little bit. Yeah, and then Desmond Howard comes to mind too. Boy, was he dominant as a receiver and a DB. So that was a lot of fun. Those are my names. Good question. Drop some more. Can you okay for another 10 minutes or so?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Pete, I sent you a link. I don't know if you're still here. I sent you a link earlier, but I'm going to end it pretty quick here. We're an hour and a half in. Reggie Bush, boy. So Reggie Bush, Alex Smith. What, 2 of the top 3 picks in that draft? I think. I wouldn't swear to that. Both in the same high school backfield in San Diego. I coached high school sports in San Diego, football specifically. Reggie Bush and Alex Smith were in the same high school backfield. Isn't that insane? We got Reggie Bush. We got Bo Jackson. Best individual season. Not team. You're talking about an athlete from Tebow. I think Tebow.
Yeah, no, that's the season I'm talking about though. 2006.
Is Robin Ventura the greatest college baseball player ever? Woo! I don't know. Ken, are you a college baseball guy at all?
Not really.
Robin Ventura hit for, I think it was 58 straight games. Joe DiMaggio hit 56 straight games, the most in the history of Major League Baseball. And Robin Ventura did more than that. I wish he was famous for that and not getting beat up by an old guy named Nolan Ryan. But no, I think the greatest college baseball player of all time might be that kid at NC State this year, the way he's pounded. Oh, Barry Sanders, best college football season of all time. I got a job because of Barry Sanders.
Really?
Can I tell the story?
Yeah, it's your show.
That's my show. So, I'm running the Boys and Girls Clubs of some town, and I want out for whatever reason. I got back, and I'm doing it again, but I wanted out. And a buddy sold insurance and high level stuff, but tried to talk me into it for a while. Finally decided I just got to get out of there. I'll do something for a year or two. I'll figure it out. And so the guy I'm interviewing with, I don't know much about. What little research I could do, I don't have a good handle on. So I walk into his office, and he's got a picture on the wall. No, excuse me. He's got two pictures, like 8x10s. One's Thurman Thomas and one's Barry Sanders, Oklahoma State running backs back-to-back years. So I'm like, wow. Tell me about those. Two of the best running backs ever. They were both on the same team. Well, it turns out that he was the offensive guard for both of them at Oklahoma State. And so I yammered about Oklahoma State football and Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas, and got the job. I think it's probably because of that. Anyway, Barry Sanders in the Holiday Bowl in San Diego put on a show. I got to go to the Holiday Bowl a bunch of years in a row. That was the second best performance I ever saw. I mean, I watched Marshall Faulk at San Diego State, not a bowl game, set at the time the all-time record for yards in a game. And I swear we had an argument. We're sitting in the stands in the end zone where all the football coaches sat, and we're watching him run off these touchdowns, and the scoreboard keeps showing his stats, and we're like, is that his season stats? That must be his season stats. That can't be for the game, right? And it was the game. It was crazy. Anyway,
so I'll give you my coolest player interaction I've ever had. My story there. So I FaceTimed Vince Young a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you how it happened. It actually, he's down there around you right now. He's down around Austin. So this couple that we used to go to church with, they moved down to Austin, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And you may know these. They started opening a bunch of Crunch Fitness gyms down there, down around Austin. I think some other places.
I'm not a big workout guy, but I'm aware of them.
Yeah. So one of the girls that she used to go to church here, she and her husband moved down there. She's involved with the company. She opened up a bunch of franchises down there. So Vince Young works somehow with Crunch Fitness. He comes in and he speaks. I think he may work with a gym in an athletic type role, or what's the word I'm looking for? Personal trainer type thing. Mm-hmm. Somehow he's involved with the gym. Anyway, they came up here to visit. Maybe a year after they left, they come up here because their kids are still here. They were coming to see friends and everything. So they're up here, and we were talking after church one day, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Vince Young is down there. He works with us. He comes in, he speaks, and he's an awesome speaker at this point. He's a motivational speaker, whatever." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." I was like, "That's cool that you know him." So she's like, "Oh yeah, hold on a second." So she FaceTimed him from church.
Wow.
I was like, "Holy cow, this is so cool."
That is very cool. I got nothing like that. I've had some neat phone calls, but nothing.
I mean, he didn't know who I was, but
sure, yeah,
it was cool.
It's very cool. Somebody asked, who is it? Willie wants to know about the best linebacker of all time. I can tell you the most famous linebacker in season has got to be Bosworth. Certainly had the most buzz. I'm not going to say it's the best linebacker. Thoughts? I don't even know if I have an answer.
We don't talk about Bosworth.
Yeah, we don't talk about. It's a joke there. I think probably because I'm from Texas, I think of Von Miller. Was it A&M, right? Texas A&M.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, I have to think it through, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'd have to think that one through also.
It's a hard one. AJ Hawk, wasn't he really, really good at was it Iowa?
Lawrence Taylor's
to mind.
Taylor's a good one.
Oh yeah, was he North Carolina, right? Oh,
yes,
Mr. Willie. I should have known. He's asking us for
Yeah.
UNC. There you go. Bryce Young. Yeah, good year. So anyway, yeah, back to the greatest high school or college baseball player. I don't know. That's tough. It makes me think of Mississippi State year where they had Will Clark and Rafi Palmiero and Bobby Thigpen. That's just a great team, obviously not a one individual player. I don't know. I have to think about that for a while. I don't know.
I don't know as much about college sports as I do about it. Like I could talk NFL all day long, but I don't keep up with college like I used to.
I don't either. Not at all. Player interaction I had sat right next to the real Rudy. That'd be cool.
Oh, that's
We
awesome.
talked the whole game. So that's a fun thing. We kind of did that the other night. Favorite athlete you've met? I mean, you gave me a great FaceTime answer. And let me know in chat too. I want to know from you. Favorite athlete meetup or random meetup or whatever. And what's yours, Ken?
Lamar Jackson, no doubt.
Yeah, that's right. You shared that. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Tommy Lasorda called me on the phone. And I'm a huge baseball Tommy Lasorda guy. So that's a pretty cool one. Had a great conversation with Ken Griffey I've talked about. I've been pretty lucky. I've been pretty blessed with some of it. I played football against Dave Roberts. I'm a big Dodgers fan. He was a year behind me in high school. I was an offensive player that they made me play safety for a little bit. I wasn't any good. And Dave Roberts was like a video freaking game. He was really good and really fast. And well, I'll give you my 2 Dave Roberts plays. And then I'll give you my junior Seau play. Dave Roberts, I'm the safety. He's the quarterback, but he's a running quarterback. And it's just end zone behind me and Dave Roberts coming at me. And I break down to make the tackle. And, it's everybody's watching. It's just me and him. And I didn't whiff, but basically 99% of a whiff. All of a sudden he's there and he's not. And I hit him a tiny bit and somebody else made the tackle. But that's my Dave Roberts first half of the story. Then second half, JV, and I'm pretty sure he was a freshman on the JV because he was a year behind me. But I'm a catcher. I was a catcher. And I called a pitch out. My pitcher shook me off. I call a pitch out, shakes me off again. So, all right, fine, fastball. Because I want to throw him out. He's going to steal. Bam! And I fire it. And that's all I could do was throw. As a catcher, that's all I could do. And I threw a P. It wasn't even close. He beat it. He could have stood up if he wanted. And then in football, my football story is junior Seau was a year ahead of me, and he sacked me, and he could have murdered me if he wanted to. The best athlete I ever played against in anything, bar none, not even close. Not even sure he was a human.
I did play with an NFL player in high school, but most people haven't heard of this guy. He made the NFL, but he never was a well-known player. He didn't last very long. But Frank Moreau.
Yeah, I don't know.
Frank Moreau, he played for the Giants.
Okay.
I believe, and he played for the Colts, I think. He was only in the league for like 3 or 4 years.
That's still cool, though.
And he never started. He was never like an NFL, great player. I think his stat sheet was like really short.
That's cool. That's still fun, though. My high school had up on the wall the one NFL player, at least at the time. They might have more by now. I have no idea. And his name was Alan Clark, and he played for the Patriots. He was like a running back for him. And I just know the name because he was up on the coach's wall. I don't know anything about him. We might have had some by now. I really have no idea.
Well, Frank, excuse me. Frank Moreau was a senior when I was a freshman. He was a great high school player. And the thing that I remember about him most is that when we would do our individual drills, so I was a running back and I was a linebacker. When we would do individual drills, he would plow me. The dude was so freaking huge. And he's been playing football. I mean, he's a senior. He's a great player in the state. But we'd line up and do individual drills, and he would kill me. He was huge.
That's fun. My first concussion of 3 in my life was on the practice field. My buddy, my good friend, elementary school friend, still friends. I mean, you don't see him anymore, but still consider him a good friend. Tom Morton then. It was practice. So I'm a receiver. He's an outside linebacker. I go up over the middle, and he cuts me in half, one of those. And then he stabs me back and hits my head. And I wake up with a pretty girl in my face. I'm like, are you okay? Because it was the manager. I'm like, no, I might die. Thanks for asking. Anyway, Mr. Willie says Roger Clemens. Why are we talking about that? You bring back all these bad memories. I used to hang out with the Yankees in the late 90s and early 2000s. Really? Not making this up. I've got some stories. We need to have you on. Let's talk about that. Hatbox Ghost, do you remember Tom Underwood? Yeah, a little lefty, right? Pitcher in Philly quite a while ago, 70s and 80s. I've got if you can see right there, that's my 1977 top set, which is incomplete. That's why it's there, because I want to start working on it. I'm pretty sure he's in that set. Played with him in Kokomo. I know Kokomo from the Beach Boys. That's all I know. Well, else I made contact on Dave Roberts. I have another Dave Roberts story. I'll give it one more thing, and then we'll call it a night if that's okay with you, Ken.
Yeah.
Dave Roberts was on the Padres at the time, right? Bruce Bochy's the manager. I'm just a fan trying to get autographs with some buddies. We used to go to spring training all the time. We'd go early. We'd always get out of the way of the kids, but we'd go there early. If the players were there, we'd ask for it. We're talking to Bruce Bochy. Okay, we're talking to him. He's just holding court. Me and a couple of my buddies and a couple other guys just across. There's a fence there, but just he's holding court. He would do it every year. Nice guy, nice man. And we actually were talking. His son at the time was a pitcher at Palomar Junior College, where we were from, where I went to junior college, but where it's where I ran the Boys and Girls Club. So that's how the conversation was going with me and two of my buddies. It was just a neat conversation. And so we've got a ball, and we're getting a bunch of Padres to sign the ball because what else? That's what you do. And so, hey, coach, can you sign it? Absolutely. He grabs the ball, and so it's got a bunch of signatures on it already. And do you know what the sweet spot is on a baseball?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
So the sweet spot in between the two seams, if you're holding the two seams right in between there, that's where the managers usually sign, and the players know to leave it blank. So Coach Bochy grabs the ball and sees there's somebody who's already signed it there. Well, it was Dave Roberts, future manager of the Dodgers, knew ahead of time to sign it right in the sweet spot where managers are supposed to sign the ball. And that was pretty fun too. And so I got to, he said that, a word that I can't say on stream, that Roberts, blah, 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 blah. And we had a laugh. And it's just a lot of fun. Good stuff. If you are a baseball nut and you like the player interactions, go to spring training. Not this year because Rob Manfred is a putz, but any other year, go to spring training. And I did some football too. We used to take the kids from the Boys and Girls Club of San Marcos. We would go to, was it fall? Whenever I guess it was summer, whatever preseason camp is for the Chargers when they were in San Diego. And I can tell you, Drew Brees was really nice to the kids. A bunch of other guys too, but Drew Brees is a huge name that people would know. Super nice to the kids. Would always hang and talk. His wife would hang out and talk to the kids too, which is very, very cool. I think she got sick actually or something. But anyway,
you know the name Steve Cragthorpe.
Say it again.
Steve Cragthorpe. He coached Louisville for 4 or 5 years.
I mean, it rings a bell, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you that. So
yeah, he came from I think he came from a school in Kansas, a small school in Kansas. Anyway, he was coaching Louisville that year that they came down to practice at Fort Knox, and I took my son there. Steve Cragthorpe. That was a bad Louisville team, but I did get to meet Steve Cragthorpe, and then of course he got sick.
What a great name that is.
Yeah, he wasn't a great coach, but yeah.
So you say that name and it makes me think of Biff Pocoroba, who was on the Braves and was best friends with my godfather, but he was a Brave. He grew up in LA and he ended up being a Dodger killer. He was only a backup catcher for the Braves, but he always beat up on my dad. Anyway, if you know who Biff Pocoroba is in chat, you win the prize. I don't know what the prize is, but not a big name by any means. He'd be in the 77 set too.
I don't win the prize.
It's a pretty random name, but a fun name to say.
Yeah.
I had a blast tonight, Ken. Ken, the content coach. You can find him at Ken, the content coach on YouTube. What are the nights that you go live so they can catch up? You've got a stream with me show, and well, I'll shut up. You tell them what your shows are, pretty please.
Yeah, so I'm live on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Just stream with me. It's kind of a hangout in the week, but we do talks. Some content creation, channel reviews, and content creation Q&As, and then new live streamers can go live if they'd like.
Love it.
And then Monday night we do the Creators Lounge. We talk a specific, actually, as much as I know you love TikTok, the topic for my Monday night show coming up actually came from TikTok.
Which I need to know. Is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. I just haven't created the stream yet. I need to get
how
that done.
to annoy junior high assistant principals.
No,
like that.
no. So I did this TikTok the other day, and it got a ton of views and a lot of comments, and most of the comments were people not wanting to create content because they are scared of drama, they're scared of criticism, they're scared of not knowing a topic, they don't know how to start. So Monday night's topic is going to be about how to find your niche, about how to not be scared of criticism, how to not let trolls bother you, stuff like that.
How does one what drama? How do I ask this question? I think it's fake. I think that trolls are real, but they only matter if I don't know. How do I say this?
They only matter if you give them airtime.
Yes. Like I feel like deep down, smack me if I'm wrong. Okay. Tell me I'm a jerk if I'm a jerk. I'll still like you. I feel deep down that people want to have trolls. I feel deep down that it's like It's like everybody's not everybody. It's like too many people's goal is to have a fake Instagram account of that people are pretending to be them. Like I don't really think that somebody that you'll never know, that you don't know now, that you won't know in the future, that there's 0% chance you'll ever know in real life. I don't believe really that people care about that. I just don't. Like if my mom comes in the chat and says, "You're an idiot, Jeff," okay, that's going to make me sad. But if some rando from I don't know where, then who cares? Like help me understand.
So when new content creators are starting, right? You don't expect people to not like you. And so the idea
I've lived in real life. Not everyone likes me.
I mean, some people expect people not to like them, I guess, but for the most part, I mean, so there's a lot of people that want to create content, and Monday Night Show is not going to be all about like trolls and criticism, but that's just one of the things. Basically, the show is going to be about why are you not creating content? If you want to start creating content, why have you not started? And these are, that's just one of the reasons why people are afraid of that criticism. I mean, because especially on TikTok, TikTok, there's a toxic side of TikTok. And so, but to answer your question, I think it's because, we're still here, Nick. I think it's because
you're back, Nick. Appreciate it.
I think I can tell you just abbreviated version of my personal story. The first time that I ever came across people that didn't like me.
Okay. First time I can tell you the first time it ever happened to me, I was like 2 probably. Anyway.
Well, no, I mean on YouTube. I'm just talking to content creation.
Online, I figured, I know.
So, I mean, I'm not afraid to say that I'm genuinely a nice guy. I pretty much get along with everybody. I'm a positive dude.
I believe every word of that.
And there was so early on when I was doing the beard stuff, I was part of a group of guys. We did this thing, every month we did a show together, and that's about all I'll say. But I ended up deciding to not be a part of that group anymore. And so I left that group, and I was like, hey, I just want to focus on my thing because there was a lot to it. It was scheduling things and just
somebody took it personally.
Yeah, somebody took it personal because I don't want to be part of it anymore. And then drama just started coming my way, and then I started making money. And oh my gosh, you start making money, like how dare you make money? So anyway, the first time that I ever experienced,
I hate that attitude on YouTube. It's so prevalent, and it's everywhere, I know, but in the Disney YouTube community, it's like you have to talk about how it's not about money, as if that if this is your retirement plan. I mean, I'm not long term. This is a real opportunity, but the return on investment in the first couple of years is pretty low. So
I mean,
it's stupid to have to apologize for making a dollar bill. I mean,
I agree. I mean, I don't do this. I don't do this for money. I don't make money on YouTube anyway. Not that much to speak about. The partner program. It's not like you're getting rich off the partner program.
You don't have a plan before you get monetized. You don't. It doesn't matter.
I make my money on TikTok and companies that pay me to make TikToks. But anyway, the first time that I started experiencing that, it blew me away that like somebody didn't like me. I'm like, because I'm such a nice dude. What do you mean you don't like me? Now I don't care.
But we're gonna psychology 101. They don't not like you,
right?
You know that. I mean, I know I don't know you well enough to assume that I know everything you think, but you don't have a happy. I don't believe you can possibly live a happy life if you're really trying to make everyone approve of you.
Right.
I just don't think. I think it's arrogance and stupidity. I mean, so if you're in chat, let me know if this pisses you off, because I think it does more than it doesn't, but it shouldn't. The arrogance to think that everyone is supposed to like you is beyond. Like, I get called arrogant. I have a big self-esteem. God, no, don't make no junk. He didn't make a mistake with me. Matter of fact, I'm his favorite. We could talk about that if you want. But the arrogance to think that everyone is supposed to like me, I just don't have that arrogance. I don't think that everyone is supposed to like me, and I don't think that's a goal that should be considered. Now, that's not to say I'm going to go around flipping people off and punching little ladies in the face. I don't want to. Of course, I'd rather people like me. I mean, I'm not lying. I want people to like me, but the arrogance to think that. Do you like everyone you've ever met, Ken?
No.
Do you think there's anyone on the planet who's currently on the planet right now that's only met people they like?
No. Now the difference in that though, the people that I don't like, I just ignore them. I don't go troll them and mess with them.
But my point is, if we don't like everyone, why are we shocked when someone doesn't like us? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Miguel seems like a nice guy, but he popped in and one of these guys is going to talk football. I'm not going to get mad. Matter of fact, it made us talk a little football. But, I've had my share of trolls. I don't have moderators. And I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think that people feel important. Well, I also think it's a little bit of excuse making. Well, I don't want to because somebody might not like me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. And I'm completely with you. Like, we've been doing this for a while now, right? So we know that the internet is full of trolls, and it's people that don't even know you just find your live stream. They'll come troll you because that's what they do. They troll people on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't expect everybody to like me. There's certainly people that are not my cup of tea, so I don't go to their channel. I don't, mess with them. But the point of it though is that there's a lot of content creators that won't start because they see from the outside, they see the negative sides of all platforms, and then they don't want to create because they don't want to experience it coming their way. And so that's what sort of what we're going to talk about.
That sounds like a paralyzing fear, though. That sounds like, I mean, am I afraid to turn left? I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. Again, we've been doing this for a while, so we know what to expect. And at this point, when I experience, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Have fun.
I just think it's a bigger conversation that I wish people would have with youth and with adults. And I can tell you it's because I work with kids. I've worked with kids since 93, and I don't accept the excuse that I can't because somebody might laugh at me. Yes, they're going to laugh at you. It's them, not you.
Right. And that's part of the goal of my platform is to help people start creating content.
That's why I like you. I liked your channel. I liked your content within 10 minutes of watching you. I don't remember what you were talking about that night, but because you ooze positivity, you can. And that's the thing. Like, you're right if you think you can. You're right if you think you can't. And I just don't really think I think it's sometimes attention getting. I just don't really think that people actually care about somebody that they don't know where they live. They don't know what their name is. They aren't they mature enough to know that it's just some sad person trying to get attention?
No, they're not. There's some people that it truly bothers them. It really, really does.
No, I mean, I guess I know it bothers them, but I think it bothers them by choice is what I'm saying. And that probably makes me a jerk. But I think what I would say to anyone who's feeling those things, and if you're feeling that way in chat, how someone feels about you is going to stop you from doing what you want to do. With as much love as I can muster, I'll say that's pathetic. The thought that someone else's opinion of you could stop you from trying something, I don't mean it to be mean. The word is pathetic. Do what you want to do. Have fun with it. You might hate it and then quit, but if you love it, who cares what some rando said?
Yep. And that'll be part of my message on Monday.
I'm sure it will. I mean, because you're a positive guy.
I probably won't say you're pathetic, but
I might. But I don't know. I mean, I don't mean it with hate. I don't.
No, I know what you mean.
Pathetic means a thing.
And I'm with you. There's no way that I'm going to let somebody that doesn't like me throw me off of my goals and what I want to accomplish.
If my best friend made fun of YouTube, and he does, and he has, it's not going to affect me. Why would some random person that I'll never see again? By the way, also, if there's a troll, how much effort does it take to get rid of them forever from your channel?
2 seconds.
Not even that. Yeah. Gone forever. Yeah. So I don't know. I think
that's only a small part of kind of what came up with that post, though. There's people that don't start because they don't know how to get their message out. Some of them don't even know what their message is. And my first question to them is, what are you passionate about? What are you
ever get that question? I bet you do. I get it 3 or 4 times a month. I want to be on YouTube, but I don't know what content to make.
all the time. And that's going to be part of Monday. My question to them is, what are you passionate about? What is it that you love in life?
My question back to them is, why do you want to be on YouTube if you're not sure what you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's true too. I think, what is your motivation for wanting to make YouTube your target for
If you're
putting
not,
whatever that
it's
information
not
is
about
out
the
there? But
message. Like, we're talking about content creation. We're talking about football. We're talking about, you can talk about religion. You talk about politics. You talk about Crocs. You can talk about whatever you want. Your village is here. If it's not here, you can create your village. It can be whatever you want. I'm passionate about 1,000 things, but if you want to be on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, but you don't know what you want to talk about, you're not going to be successful. Sorry, because that's about you. You want to
Right.
create smiles, fear, anger, happiness. Whatever you want to create, you can create it here. The algorithm will get your message out if there's an audience for it, and there is. But if you just want to be famous, I don't know.
And sometimes that's what it comes down to. I mean, there's some people that, talking TikTok specifically, because that's where this post and this question came up.
Yeah.
There's people that are on TikTok. There's some people that ask me to check out their videos. They want to know what they can do better. And then I go look at their videos and I'm like, well, I mean, right now you got a picture, you've got a video of your cat with a song. I mean, you're really not putting out content that anybody's interested in. I try to say it nice to, obviously I try to put it in a good, positive way, but at the end of the day, if you're not making content that is serving an audience's purpose, and that purpose can either be, education or entertainment. You don't necessarily have to teach somebody something. You can entertain them.
There's a lot of things it could be.
Yeah, but you have to do it for your audience. And so I'm with you. There's
Amen.
people on TikTok that want to create TikToks just to go viral.
The dopamine drip that is likes. Hey, did you like my post? Hey, did you see my thing? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
It's a vanity play.
Yeah. Now I will never try to discourage even them from creating content. If you think you want to create content, because I started creating content because I thought it would be fun to make videos about beard products. I never had huge plans for it. And then along the way, I figured out what I was passionate about, and that is helping content creators. So there's a chance that even some of these that just start off not knowing what they want to do, they might find,
very true,
as they do it, they might find something they're really passionate about and then, shift that way. So,
and I'm a believer in that too. Like I'm a big believer in having young people, especially because again, I work with kids, give a speech. Now it's get your vlog. I love vlogging. I've got my oldest daughter she has no idea why anyone would watch any vlog, let alone her dad's vlog. I get it. She's my daughter, but getting your message out there can come from things that you don't know, that you didn't mean for them to come from. My Wednesday night show originally was, and still is, Live a Life Worth Sharing. I mean, we haven't even watched it tonight or mentioned it tonight, but you don't have to share your life, but I think you should live a life that's worth sharing. Whether you choose to share it or not is up to you. If you choose to show it or share it, you should go check out Ken, the content creator, and he'll help you do it. But I think that we should all strive to be a light, all strive to bring good, all strive to inspire and enable. Give people a sense of belonging, a sense of usefulness, a sense of competence, a sense of power even, and know how to hit one button to block users that fast. And we all bring that positivity or that negativity, if that's our choice, in different ways. What I'm saying is I feel like people overly dramatize the trolls or the hate. I mean, I've had some people that I had a guy do a video about me, and let's be real. I run a nonprofit. I've been on the front page of the paper with the idiot talking about us being bad. We're not. It was wrong. And I'm not me, but I'm saying other people's opinions matter only if you let it. And I think that's what Ken said about 10 minutes ago. And I don't know if anybody's in the chat struggling with somebody else's opinion, know that the way to depression is worrying about what other people think. And if you're worried about what other people think, the best way to fix it, in my never so humble opinion, is go do something for somebody else. Get out of your own dang head. Go do something positive for somebody else. Ideally, somebody that's not going to know about it and or can't pay you back, because you have to serve people to build your own self-esteem. I don't know. We're getting a little off topic, but
no, I mean, you're right on. When I first started experiencing, the first time that I ever experienced, hate coming my way, it's something that I didn't expect, right? And I was still new. I hadn't been a content creator for forever, and being the first time I experienced it was like,
bucks.
Yeah, have a good night, man. So the first time I experienced it was like, wow, why is somebody not like me? But again, I figured out pretty quickly that the reason they didn't like me had nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
It's their own insecurities.
Exactly.
It's their own, they want what I have. It's whatever. And so, yeah, now, I mean, I've gotten to the point where
they just want attention. It's usually they just want some attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good conversation. I hope that was positive. I hope nobody thinks I'm being a jerk about that, but I really do think that you can overcome whatever it is. And if you're a little nervous about going live or about doing that first video, check out Ken, the content creator's content. He's got great show every week that talks about exactly this stuff. If you're a Cowboys fan or a Chargers fan, you're going to like my opinions. If you like any of the other teams, come to the shows, this show and the show tomorrow night over on Pete's channel, and I'll tell you why you're wrong and I'm right being a Cowboys or a Chargers fan. Also, most importantly, remember, Dad's caught that ball. And if I taught you nothing else, that is, I'm happy if I taught you that.
How did you know that I was going to end with Des dropped it?
I had to beat you to the punch. I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you the other night sticking through where I was interviewing you, and I actually had some questions I never got to ask you. Tonight wasn't the right kind of night for it, but you gave me some hints on some stuff. So at some point, hopefully, whether I'm on your show or you're on my show, I'm going to try to sneak in a question or two because I still want to know about some old school Ken stuff that you hinted at. But anything else you want to say before we say goodnight to the crowd and everybody in chat? I'll say goodbye to you in a minute, but thank you so much. Some of you have been here the whole time. Some of you just popped in, but thank you. Please go check out Ken's channel. Ken, what do you want to tell the peeps?
Oh, you guys in the chat, thanks for hanging out. It's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. You guys are wild animals. Appreciate it.
Right? Ooh, I like that. You guys are wild out. I might steal that.
There you go. And no, Jeff, it was cool. Thanks for the invite today. This was
absolutely.
This was
I'm glad you
chat.
popped in. I wouldn't have gone as long talking to myself. Well, to the chat, it's always fun to have somebody tell me.
I wasn't sure because I was sitting here looking at my taxes and like headache, and I got done right before you went live. I was like, all right, cool.
Is it April 15th yet? Because I haven't done mine unless it's April 15th.
Well, actually, this year, April 18th.
Oh, nice. So I wait at least 3 more days this year.
Go.
I don't even know. I don't even know where the stuff. You know what? Now you're going to stress me out. Now I won't get any sleep. It won't be for trolls. It'll be for the tax man.
Well, this is my last year having to do my own taxes. I have an accountant now. He was the guy that was on my show a couple of months ago. Oh,
that's right. I watched that show. I remember that.
Yeah, John.
You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun storming the castle unless you actually want to storm a castle, then sit the heck down. Cowboys, Chargers, yes. Green Bay, not so much, although they got A-Rod back. I hope you had fun tonight. We talked about A-Rod. We talked about Russ Wilson. We talked about all the quarterbacks. We talked about all kinds of stuff. Football talk. We're going to do, I'm trying on Tuesdays and Thursdays to go live more. We're going to do a little sports content. Wednesdays wasn't supposed to be sports, but there was so much stuff I had to talk about tonight. Let's be real. I don't really believe in a calendar. I'm just going to come on and have some fun. Tomorrow night, though, I'm over on Pete McDevitt's channel. We're talking football, and then I'll go live afterwards. Last week we talked baseball. I probably will again. If you're not mad at the owners, come to the show tomorrow night, and hopefully I will make you mad at the owners when we're done. That's it. I must have had a great weekend. Well, you can still have a great weekend, but have a good couple days before then. Go follow Ken, the content coach. What's your topic this Friday?
So Fridays are pretty much wide open.
Well, that's right.
Whatever people want to talk about.
But then Monday. Jeez.
Monday will be basically the reasons why content creators want to start but don't. I haven't titled the show yet, but that's basically what it's going to be.
Close enough. I liked it. So you need to go check that out. Thanks again, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.